We'll do it live. We will do it
Yeah.
live. Hello. I want to say hello to a whole bunch of people on there. I want to say, let's pull up Rusty Rivers. Hello. Hello, and welcome to a bonfire stream. I'm just about to start the bonfire. We have a special co host, West Kegel. Welcome to you, West Kegel. And how are you on this fine evening?
I'm doing well here. I'm doing well. I'm always glad to be here with the bonfire. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my camera functioning, so I couldn't do the simul fire going on my end. But maybe next time. I'm working on it. I'm trying to
Well,
figure out why it's not functioning. I don't know.
yeah, well, I'd love to get a fire on your end. Absolutely, have two fires going simultaneously. Hello, Sashi. Good to see you. Welcome to you. We're gonna start up this bonfire here pretty quick, and I want to welcome in the chat Wes Kegel, of course, and Radioactive. And do you mind reading Radioactive's?
Yeah, radioactive says it would
Cheers.
seem that a south by southwest Kegel would bring balance to north by northwest Kegel. Yes.
I think we do need to bring balance to the force. That is true.
Yep.
Absolutely true. And I'm just going to share. Okay, so we seem to be live on YouTube. I think I've got sound. I'm just checking it now. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So I'm going to share this out
Yeah.
so that people know that we're in here. And I do see DJ Play Nice in the chat. So I hope you didn't. I hope I didn't take you away from anything too pressing, West Kegel. I just thought I'd have a little bonfire stream on a Sunday evening.
Nope, nope, no. As a matter of fact, this is where I was planning on being because you had mentioned doing it in the middle of the week last week, and then again on Jill's stream. So I figured we were gonna
Chances
be
are
doing it.
pretty
Yep,
good.
yep, yep.
Want to say hello to DJ Play Nice and holy shit, Peter Graves, welcome and hello to you, Peter Graves. And I wanted to say, hey, Nemesis of Eden, I've seen your live streams, man. Even if I don't pop in the chat, believe it or not, I do hit a like. I do listen in for like a minute, if just as I'm going to sleep, because you're usually streaming when I'm going to bed. But even if I'm not in the chat, I'm there, man. You better believe it. And
Nice.
you always West Kegel. Let me tell you, Nemesis of Eden. We have sound. Nemesis of Eden shouts out other YouTubers as quick as anybody, so it's great to have you here. And salute to you, DJ Play Nice. I'm gonna raise a beverage to you. It's in a stubby cooler because it is hot out. It's still about 25 degrees.
Yeah,
And this
that's
is
cold here. That's cold here
well,
in America.
that's 25 Celsius, so
Yes,
that's I
I
don't know
know. I
80
get
85.
it.
But this is black flies.
Mm.
Why is it showing it mirrored? It's showing it reversed.
No, we
Weird.
see it. We see it. It may look that way on your camera, on your monitor. We see it proper here.
Oh, okay,
On
so this is a black fly. It's 7%, and this is a Long Island iced tea. I haven't drank that since I was like 28 years old. It's been a long
Ooh,
time. And yeah,
wow.
West Cagle saying hello. Thank you. And Nemesis, I appreciate you, Canadian Spider-Man. Thanks, man. I'm glad to have you here. So let's get this fire going. The whole point, you didn't want to hear West Cagle and I talk. You wanted to see this fire. So I went into the community forest just down the road, public forest, because I'm allowed here, unlike Nova Scotia. Good luck fucking trying that law here, government. Good fucking luck with that. We'll get into that maybe later, because that is more serious than I think anyone realizes. It's super serious, super serious. But I went down, and because there's dead standing trees there, and some of them they're just fuel for forest fires waiting to go up. So I cut the tree down and doing the community a favor. See, you don't have to be a superhero wearing like tights and a unitard going stopping crime. You can do your part and be a hero just by burning all the forest fire fuel in a fire pit safely. Uh, to keep your neighborhood safe. So that's what we're gonna do right here. I'm just gonna light up
Yep.
the fire here, West.
Alrighty, sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, and your weekend's been good. Today's Sunday, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is Sunday. Sunday for another hour and like 5 minutes. So here, at least on the East Coast. So I mean, you guys get another 3 hours of Sunday over there before.
Wow.
So, but yeah, no, it's good. And you mentioned try that Nova Scotia bullshit over there in BC. I'm always reminded of that video I saw of Trudeau visiting BC. Must have been
yeah.
last year before, and somebody came up to him to shake his hand, and he was all happy about it. And he's like,
Right.
"Hey, Mr. Prime Minister." She's like, "Why don't you fuck off out of BC?"
Exactly. Go to fuck home. Stand back, folks.
And we have fire.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Yes, we have fire.
It took a minute, West. It took a minute. Now, hopefully, chat. Hopefully, there's no echo. I'm not wearing earphones tonight. We're gonna try this. Is a new computer, so we're gonna try it like this. But if you do hear an echo, please let us know, and we will deal with that straight away. And holy shit, look who it is! It's our friend Carla Burton. Hello, Carla Burton.
Hello, Carla.
Carla Burton. And Sashi in the chat says, speaking of government overreach, the UK government tried to impose fines on 4chan. 4chan's lawyers told him to F off. See, that's what we need. We do not need big tech collaborating with government, because what's that called, West Kegel?
Collusion. Well, it's called fascism.
Fascism.
So, yeah.
Bingo, you nailed it. That is.
Yep.
People throw that word around a lot because they don't know what it is.
Well, see, they don't
fascism.
understand. Yeah, fascism is just socialism, where instead of the means of production and distribution and businesses being controlled directly by the government, it's still controlled by corporations, but the government tells the corporations exactly what to do. So it's essentially it's just a middleman.
Correct.
Yes.
Now that's a fire. So I've got all this dead. This was a pine tree that fell down about a month ago, and it was dead, standing dead. And a windstorm came up and blew it down. And it was next to the road. And anytime you have dead trees next to the road, you got to get them out of there, and you got to burn them, because if you have a lot of fuel next, the road makes a good natural fire. Well, not a natural; it's a man-made fire break. But what I mean naturally, I mean it's already there. So in the event of a forest fire, the roads are pre-installed fire breaks. And so if you have big bundles of burnable wood next to the road on each side, it can jump that 25 feet. So try to keep all the dead trees away from the roadside, and that way it makes it a nice fire break. And Carla Burton, absolutely, we can send you a link, 100,000%. Let me do that right now, my dear. Yeah, West, have you had... now, this summer in British Columbia, we have had rain a fair bit. And so, therefore, I'm still allowed to safely have a campfire here. I've got the water hose right here. I've got a whole, jugs of water, at least 100 liters of water right here. Very good. So having a fire this time of year is just fine around here. We have had a lot of rain.
Yeah.
And that is New Zealand for thank you. And Australian, actually. Ta. They use that word a lot. I don't think it means what they think it means.
No.
That is an awesome quote.
Yes.
From Princess Bride. And no, they don't know what fascism means.
Not at all.
They throw that term around anything they don't like. Holy shit, Carla Burton was faster than Spider-Man. You got here quick, Carla Burton. Welcome to you.
Hi. Yeah, hello. I'm here for an hour, so.
Oh, very good.
Well, we're not going to go that long. I've only got
cool. That's
beverages. Cool. And I mean, tomorrow's a work day if I had a job. But actually, I do have work. I do have work I can go do. I'm going to go build a rock wall in the forest.
For nice.
Money, even. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to work for.
I know.
Yes,
as opposed to mums who just work for love, apparently.
Well, I mean, if I had someone to take care of my bills, I'd cook and take care of the kids. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
I did. You know what? When I was living in Massachusetts, I did play the stay-at-home dad for the girl I was with. Yeah, she had two kids, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. For a whole year. Oh, yeah. I took them to kindergarten. I made their lunches. I woke them up because she'd go away for like 3 days at a time. And I did play Mr. Mom. So just to any guys that are thinking of doing that, pull your head out of your asses. Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's pretty thankless. It's pretty thankless.
Old Man Bird is saying hello to us. Hello, Canadian Spider-Man, Carla Bird, and West Kegel. Well, hello, Old Man Bird. Welcome to you, and everyone saying hello. And I want to say hello to Miskatonic Madman is in the chat. And also,
Hi.
I saw PS2 Chipper. Hi.
Oh.
Hail to you. Yeah, we're just gonna have a little bonfire stream tonight while we're.
It's a beautiful fire. If you got rid of our names, we could see your fire better.
Oh yeah, maybe adjust the camera a little bit, the angle just a little bit.
Oh no, but then we can't see him very well. No, if he got rid of our name tags, we'd see the fire better.
Let's see if I know how to do that.
Don't ask me.
Oh, if you put a little, if you keep one of the chats on the screen, I think our names usually disappear.
They do. I just don't banners. No, it's not under there. Yeah, I don't really know how to change that appearance.
Oh, sorry.
But NS.
There we go. There we go. Now we see the.
Yep.
Now we see it.
Oh, and he kicked himself.
That was the wrong button.
That was the Come back, Spidey! Don't leave us.
Yeah, no, I don't know how to. I don't know how to get rid of the names I've been having comments up, but that's okay. And I want to say hello. Holy crap! It's Susan Dolan.
Hello.
Welcome to Susan Dolan. Yeah. So yeah, we can have a little bit of a fire going on here.
Yeah.
Because
you don't live in.
Play nice. Great.
Where is the band?
The fire ban. Well, I know there's a lot of smoke. Right next to British Columbia. British Columbia is pretty wet. We're pretty good all over.
Yeah.
But Alberta and Saskatchewan, and next to them Manitoba, and then you go to Ontario. And I know all of those provinces are pretty dry, and they haven't had a lot of rain. And so they do have some forest fires. And if you talk to people, yeah, it's record-breaking heat waves on the East Coast. Well, you know what? You're talking to a 53-year-old roofer who did roofing on the East Coast. And let me friggin' tell you, we got weather that was 44 degrees all the time, maybe 1 degree less, maybe 2 degrees less. Bullshit. I did roofing in the 80s and the 90s in 40-degree weather in the summers. It wasn't that unusual. The sky is not falling, okay? Do not let the government panic you. They love to do that.
Well, the media.
Well, the government and the media are the same. It's
true,
especially up there in Canada.
Right.
Well, yeah, in your guys' countries. Well, I don't know so much about New Zealand, but you got the CBC and the ABC and the BBC. I'm sure you got one of those in Kiwi land, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, TV and Z is cool. Well, actually, all the media.
Well, yeah, but they're blatant in those alphabet
propaganda
countries,
and
yes.
Biasness.
They literally have state media in Britain, Canada, and
Australia. Same with us.
By definition.
Yep.
What's the definition of state-funded media, Carla?
The government the government orders them probably, but also funds them. So whoever funds you have to do what they say.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and
funny.
Now the U.S. State Department just issued a report on the Canadian, on what was it, the it was the human rights issues in Canada. Now the State Department report basically said that media in Canada is completely under government control, and even if the government isn't directly controlling it, because they're funded by the government almost entirely, they self-censor for fear of losing that funding. So that's the same thing. Essentially, it's censored media. And you're just saying, people say, oh, well, Trump just doesn't like, Canada and Trump is just, no, this was Joe Biden. Joe Biden's government did the State Department report saying that Canada is basically has no free media. It was Joe fucking Biden that said that.
Yep.
Yeah. So take that as.
And I think it was Obama who allowed the U.S. public to be able to be propagandized as well. Like way back when he was in charge.
Yep, exactly. There
It
was
was
there
it was
was
banned.
yeah, there was a the United States government had passed, I don't know when, an act prohibiting propagandizing
Hmm.
on television, and that was rolled back, I think, in 2008,
Wow.
2009, something
Hmm.
like that, and during Barry Soto's first administration, his first term.
Here we go. We'll have the Long Island iced tea because we're going to be high school girls tonight.
Oh no, no, you need Bartles and James wine cooler if you're gonna do
Ah,
that.
okay, this reminds me of high school. They didn't have Bartles and
Oh, hi,
James
Radioactive.
in high school.
True,
And
true.
Carla Burton, do you mind reading this from my friend Susan Dolan? I'm going to get this fire jazzed up a little bit here.
Okay. Susan Dolan. It's been hot and humid here the last couple of days after thunderstorms. Oh,
Yeah.
humid is the worst.
Yeah, yeah. It's not the heat, it's the stupidity. I mean, humidity.
I wonder if Radioactive knows a lot of stuff as well about the government and propaganda. I wonder
Oh
if he
no,
wants to
yeah.
come on.
They
Radioactive,
are,
do you
they
want
are
to come
bad.
on?
At least, in the UK and Canada and Australia and you guys, they're not hiding it. They're saying we are
Oh yeah.
state funded. In the United States, they
Mm,
pretend that they are
yeah.
independent media.
Well, but even YouTube, like how censorious is YouTube? They must be the one of the most censorious places around as well.
Yep, yep, yep. Yep, they were bad, and all of them.
Mm.
Every single social media platform was super censorious.
Yes.
From about 20, the time Barack decided to get in, all of a sudden everything was being becoming like the Gestapo. With
Yeah.
them banning everybody, and that's why they flipped out when Elon bought Twitter, because there was one little crack now, and people could see the light streaming through that one little crack, and they lost their minds.
Yeah. Yeah. But even Google, since they censor their answers.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And well, and those, what do you call it? The little oh, those little, I hate them too. I really hate them. Those Surrey and all those other Alexa and all those things. You ask them certain questions, and if if it's inconveniently politically incorrect, she'll say I can't answer that,
Yep.
or some
Mm,
Did,
yeah.
bullshit.
Oh yeah.
did you know, and anyone that has that's listening to this now or in the future, if you have Alexa, ask Alexa
Yes.
to fire photon torpedoes.
Oh yeah.
She does.
Oh man,
Ask,
that's awesome. Now
yeah.
I want an Alexa.
No, but but she does. There's no special effects. It's literally
Oh.
like who's ever doing the voice for. It's this woman going, pew pew pew. It's so funny. It's like
That
ready.
is funny.
It's very formal, like preparing to fire photon torpedoes, and then pew 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 pew.
That is
That is
You know,
hysterical.
phasers.
Ah.
And then if you say like jump to warp 10, she goes, I haven't got a power, Captain. So because it's
Yeah.
geeks that are programming her. Of course
Yeah.
they're going to do that.
Yeah,
Yep.
Of
yeah,
course they're going
yeah.
to.
I love
Not
when they
that I
drop those
hate
little
having
things.
Alexa. I do not.
Mm.
I love when they drop those little things in there. Like if you
Of course.
ask, if you ask her what's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, she asks you, what do you mean, African or European?
That's right. I heard.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And if you listen, I wanted to make sure I had spelled it right, because I can't spell for crap, and I was posting something on
Mhm.
Twitter, so I looked up Forrest Gump, the movie, and when I typed in Forrest Gump in Google, underneath the search bar, little Forrest starts running across the screen, and then he runs back the other way with a bunch of people chasing him. I'm like, really? Oh my god!
That is awesome. We are living in the best times.
Yeah, some stuff. You know what? I
But
understand. I
how
understand.
long before it's going to be so easy for them to control what we see? Just, well, I saw it on Google, so I don't care if you were there 10 years ago. I
Yeah.
believe Google. It's like, no, but I was literally there. I
Mm,
saw what
Yep.
happened.
mm,
Well, that's what I
mm.
keep. That's what I say all the time about people. They say, well, this is the facts. This is history. I said, no. This is what they're telling you now. That's why
Mm.
I people tell people all the time. You want to actually
Right.
learn the events of historical events.
Yep.
You've got to get a book. Go get textbooks, but you make sure that they were printed before
Mm.
1985.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers, Carla and West.
Yeah.
Carla's not
Sorry, I don't have a
driving,
drink.
she can drink now.
Cheers.
Cheers! I got me a drink here.
Cheers, big ears.
Uh,
I do not.
So, do you know what month it is on the Anti-Derivative Jill channel, Carla?
No.
She has a theme this month. West, do you know?
I do not.
Well, a very good friend
No,
of,
Star Trek?
of the
Something to do
channel,
with Star Trek?
and I was on Anti-Derivative Jill's shore leave. Like, it's so hard for me to say. I speed past it because I can't pronounce it correctly. If you'll note it, Anti-Derivative. No, I did it that time. But
Too many teenage drinks.
well, no, this is only the
Not yet. Not yet.
This is
Not
number 6. But she had me on last night, along with Scotty and Tiger Stripes, and for shore leave. But this month on the Anti-Derivative Jill channel it's Battleship month.
No, very cool.
Because we just did the movie Under Siege with Max Redstone on. Well, not we. I was in the chat. And then on the 29th, Anti-Derivative Jill and I are doing the movie Battleship.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
On her channel, a review of that.
I've never heard of that.
It's a good movie.
You haven't seen? Well, it's the movie is a bit cheesy, but considering that they literally made a movie out of the Mattel plastic game
Yes.
Battleship,
Oh,
they did a
you're
pretty good job of
kidding.
writing a plot, and it's basically
I
the
didn't
Navy
know
of
that.
aliens, which is awesome.
Yep.
So we're gonna be doing that.
Best.
Yeah, shout out to Anti-Derivative Jill with Battleship month. That is a
best thing about that movie was that when they made it, it coincided with them having to do maintenance on the USS Missouri. So the USS Missouri literally it had been sitting in Pearl Harbor in Pearl Harbor forever. It raised anchor and was actually at sea. So they got footage of an actual battleship at sea.
Wow.
It was awesome. It's not all CGI. It was the ship was actually sailing. It was great.
That's right. It's not CGI. And now, okay, Old Man Bird knows it's battleships. And winner Eugene, says Carla Burton. Wes Kegel, do you mind reading this really important message from Sashi?
Yep. Hang on. Let me just get back over. Sashi says one of my comments was removed by YouTube when we were talking about Mogadishu. And in Dadman Walking's 55 stream, I mentioned Malaysia's involvement in the operation, and it got deleted. Yeah, I've had plenty of chats on YouTube as I post them, and I look over. If you refresh, or if you're running on two different, sometimes I run on two different screens, and I'm looking at the other screen. I'm like, hey, it doesn't pop up. Now it does. It shows on your screen that it came up, but unless you refresh, it doesn't. You don't see that it didn't go through. So they're not only censoring you, they're gaslighting you.
But they haven't. They haven't shut me down yet. But I'm not monetized, so I'm under the radar so far. And I would like to read this from our friend Sashi. Sashi says the current push to control people is using protecting kids as the main reason. Yeah, you're right. People will choose safety over independence. But you know what? Thomas Jefferson, our good friend Thomas Jefferson, had a saying about that. Do either of you, Carla or Wes, do you know what Thomas Jefferson said about trading safety for freedom?
Yep.
You don't deserve either?
Yep. For the most
that
part.
might have been Ben Franklin. That I'm thinking of another quote.
Okay. We talked about it on the travel stream.
Yep. Thomas Jefferson said, "I would rather live in a dangerous. I would rather live with dangerous freedom than safe tyranny." And
yeah,
absolutely correct. Now Ben Franklin said, "Those I believe it was Ben Franklin, and please correct me if I'm wrong. U.S. history is not something I had to study in childhood, but I've since been a big fan of Ben Franklin because he says a lot for freedom. And he said, those that choose safety over freedom will get neither and deserve neither. Something to that
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so Eastern Canada, see my friends and family in Eastern Canada, they are so scared of being labeled bad people because you're hurting the community or you're going against what your neighbors would feel, or you're a racist or whatever. They're so scared of being labeled bad people that they will just do stupid things. They absolutely will. The East Coast is lost.
Yeah.
The East Coast is lost. And I want to say hello to Gunnar. Welcome.
Hello.
Oh, and this
Gunnar.
is Wes Cagle. This seems for you, dude.
Yeah, give me pizza or give me death. And it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's Nathan Hale. Yeah, right. Yes. With his "Give me liberty or give me," but people always quote that "Give me liberty or give me death." It's there. There's a whole paragraph that goes with this thing, and if you actually Google that and see the whole thing, I can't say it verbatim because I don't have it memorized. It is amazing. You've got to go and read. You know what? I should look it up, and this way I can give it to you guys. The entire phrase is great. Let me see if I can bring that up.
How can you see the fire now, or is it just my ass?
Oh, and it's Patrick Henry, not Nathaniel. Yes.
Oh, okay, there you
go. Patrick Henry. Let me see. Here's the text. Yeah. God, it's not giving me the entire one. Full quote.
Well, we're doing this to protect the neighborhood against forest fires.
Oh yeah, here it is. So the full quote is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death. So he says the same thing. I'm not
That's
trading.
a good fire right there.
I'm not trading my freedoms for safety because if safety is just chains and slavery.
And the thing is, I feel like if COVID did nothing, it was a terrible thing for everyone. But it was such an awesome eye opener to see that human nature hasn't changed. And like Jordan Peterson always said, you like to think that back in the World War II, what sort of person you'd be, but the COVID vaccination and all those rules that they brought in showed you that man is not far away from being awful to each other.
Yep, exactly. I don't know who said it, but somebody actually quoted. It might have been John Wayne. I don't know. Somebody said that basically we're only ever one generation away from losing all our
Slavery?
freedoms. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
That's
well,
right.
but we weren't even there.
Yep. But COVID, I'm not calling it what they want to call it. The
No,
Chinese
you can say
flu.
whatever you want on this channel, man.
When the Chinese
I don't
flu
care about
hit,
monetization, YouTube can't censor us.
but the Chinese flu, the whole Chinese flu thing, it was a dry run to see exactly how far they could push you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why do you think this shutting people out of going into the public woods in Eastern Canada? That's COVID 2.0. Anytime there's an emergency, how does the government react? Restrict people's movements. So we're getting conditioned, getting used to it. Well, you know what? I have a crossbow, motherfuckers, and I know how to make arrows.
And they actually right at the end of if you notice, there was some articles, they quietly brushed them under the carpet when people started noticing them. But right at the end, when the lockdowns were starting to be reversed and so forth, they were writing papers saying that how the lockdowns had a positive effect because it reduced CO2 emissions because nobody was
Yeah.
going anywhere. So they said maybe we
Mm,
need climate
mm,
lockdowns, and people
mm-hmm.
went whoa ho
Yeah.
ho ho
Yeah.
ho.
Yeah. Which everyone said it was the dry run for in the first
Yep.
place.
Man, this environment. Oh, but here's some unfortunate news for the climate hysterical people. The report was just was released. The Great Barrier Reef that is doing the
Yeah.
best,
That was
one of
dying.
the
That was
top
dying.
5 reports in all since they've started doing the coral testing documenting the coral on Great Barrier Reef. This is the 5th highest report for coral growth and coral life in the Great Barrier.
Mm, mm,
And I've personally been there in 2001, and the last time I was there in 2016. And in 16 years, and you know what? In 2001, they were preaching, "Oh, we better go to the Great Barrier Reef now. It's not going to be there in 20 years." Well, in 2016, I went on with the same company, Cairns Dive Center, to the same spots, the same 10 dive spots over a 4-day, 4-night course with my brother, and 3-night, 4-day, 3-night, with my brother and father. The reef was, the scientists aren't lying. I saw it with my own eyes, the same sites, and I have film of
mm.
both times. The coral, and my brother said the same thing. We looked at each other and said, "This reef is doing awesome. It's just the same as we remembered it. It's perfect." And I've
Yeah.
been there a couple times since, but not to those same spots. But this was 16 years apart, 15 and a half. And yes, Susan Dolan confirmed Spider-Man. Nemesis agrees, but says just your ass. Well, there's a reason why I'm not on TV much. Carla Burton, do you mind reading this from our friend Radioactive?
Human nature hasn't changed in its entire existence on this world. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is
And, you know,
true.
somebody actually, I saw a quote on Twitter, and it's so accurate. They just posted a picture that said, how you behaved during COVID is exactly the person you are.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And you saw some real people. There's a lot of people that really wanted to control others and really wanted to tell people
Mm-hmm.
what to do, didn't they? There was a
Yep.
whole lot of
Yep.
Karens and Kevins.
Our government did. We couldn't, but the thing is, we couldn't even enter the state, and New Zealanders had to go on a lottery to come back to their own country. Yet the New Zealand Prime Minister had her DJ mates and all these people. They would get straight in, but
Just
people who wanted to see dying,
She was
yeah, it was,
evil. She was evil.
yeah, yeah.
I can't believe, because I spent a lot of time with New Zealanders. Actually, Carla, some of the best New Zealanders I know, I met
Mhm.
teaching English in Tokyo, in Japan.
Oh,
And
nice.
Andrew Hall and Johnny Wallerman, and they were fantastic. And I know a few New Zealanders, and I think Canadians identify to New Zealanders sort of like Americans identify with Australians, because we've got that same big brother complex.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But no, I love New Zealanders. But I am so surprised that you guys let your government do that to you.
Well,
Because you're
yeah,
polite. You don't want to be seen as bad people. Oh, I don't want to hurt
yeah,
grandma
yeah,
in the
yeah,
community.
yeah,
I have to do
Yeah.
what the
yeah,
government says.
yeah. But the thing is, you have to remember people were opposed to it, but the media were
Yeah.
entirely. They were bought. They were funded during COVID because there was no income for them. They were funded by the government, and there were clauses for the money that they got. There were clauses, and of course they're already left wing leaning anyway, right? And
Yeah.
Jacinda Ardern was there. Oh my gosh, they loved her so. Everything was pro. Even when she says we are your one source of truth, media didn't push back at all. Yeah, I know.
Right?
She said like we are your everything else.
I can't
Everything
believe
else.
She
Take
said
with a
the
grain
quiet
of salt.
part out loud.
She even
fucking
said
said that.
Yep.
she even
We are
said
your one
sustain.
source of truth.
Yeah, she did say
Holy
that.
shit.
There's a guy on there's a Rumble, a guy in Rumble. Let me see. I'll try and find his name. But anyway, he made a whole lot of videos of them. She also said, like we need like at 2 weeks of sustained propagandization. She like literally said it out loud.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yep,
she
yep.
was,
That was my favorite part about your former lunatic prime minister was that she said the quiet part out loud
yeah,
all the time.
All the
yeah,
She's got to be one of the dumbest people I've ever seen.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Usually
she
they're smart
is.
enough not to say the
She
quiet part
is.
out loud.
No, no, no.
Gunnar, I am on Rumble, but I'm not streaming on Rumble right now. I've got to change streaming platforms so that I can do that. I'm working on it.
Oh yeah, no, I just wanted to let people be aware and not forget about your Rumble channel in the
I
meantime.
do
Yeah.
have a Rumble channel. I do have material on that. And if I ever get booted off YouTube,
Yeah,
I
good.
will focus more on Rumble 100%. It is run by a Canadian who actually values free speech, Chris
Yeah.
Pavlovsky. His brother is Arthur,
Yeah.
who's the priest in Alberta that keeps getting arrested because he kept having
Oh,
service.
really?
Yeah.
He
Yep.
kept, his
Oh,
brother
really?
is the famous Calgary priest who's been arrested by 8 times
I
or
saw
whatever
him
it
one
was
time.
because he kept
Yeah.
having church service during COVID. And he
Yep.
says,
Yeah.
COVID, he said during COVID, he said, COVID restrictions are bullshit. He said, Costco
Yeah.
and Walmart are open and my
Yeah.
church has to
Brothels.
close. He told the cops, get the fuck out of here. You're
Yeah.
not going to
Yeah.
stop me. Because he
Yeah.
came from Poland. He came from communism. So he
Yeah.
and his brother know what
Yes. Yeah.
communism are. And
He
so
Yeah.
threw them out of their
fighting
teeth.
in the church, and
Yep.
his brother Chris started Rumble to fight with free speech.
Yeah, he threw them right out of the church, man.
He did.
I never saw a
Oh,
priest
that's
so fired
awesome.
up.
Like
I
6
need to
cops.
see a video. I need to
There
see
were
the video.
6 cops that were coming. You can find it all everywhere on
Okay.
online.
Okay.
On
Do you
YouTube.
guys know the 1973 Disney Robin Hood cartoon?
Yes.
There's a
Is it with
scene in there.
fox?
There's a scene in there where the tax collector tries to come in and hassle Friar Tuck into church. Friar Tuck takes his quarterstaff and beats him out of the
Oh, yeah.
church.
That's
That's what it
right.
reminded me of.
That's Arthur chased these 6 cops right the fuck out of his church, and then
Yeah.
they came back like 2 weeks later and he's been arrested multiple times. But his brother has done Rumble, and they fight for free speech. And I don't want to be
Yeah.
on YouTube any longer than I have to. Fuck YouTube, you censor speech. I do want to switch to Rumble. But unfortunately, the tech side
Yeah.
isn't as good. The chats are
It's-
not as user
yeah.
friendly. They
No.
they're
Yeah.
still working on it. They're working on it.
But you
But
know,
I
you
do
It
wanna
get better
stream-
each time.
I don't.
Well, you
wanna-
know
I
what's
do
good-
wanna
what's-
stream,
what's-
both sides.
yeah, what's
If we
nice
can
about
Bidens.
What's nice about Rumble though is that they have their own streaming
They do.
part. Yeah, yeah. So
do.
you
They
you
do.
you could actually if you did everything on Rumble, if it works that way, you can actually save money by not having StreamYards anymore too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's
they
not as
Rumble.
good as StreamYard. It's not as good,
It's
obviously.
not. Rancor Steve did. I was just on Manorama every Tuesday. Just about. I'm on with Rancor Steve on Rumble, and he had issues streaming with Rumble. That it was it. So you know how West Kegel right now you have just your avatar showing, but we can hear your voice. So on Rumble, your avatar would not be shown. It would just be showing Carla and myself, and your voice would be there, but you would not have a screen
Oh,
presence.
wow.
Yep. I've wondered that often when I watch you guys on Manorama. I'm like,
Yeah.
I see 4 of yous, but I hear 5 people talking. Somebody's not here.
That's so confusing because there's more people talking than you can
Yep.
see on screen. And Carla, would you mind reading this? Awesome. And chat, if you want to write anything in the chat, as long as you're not offensive to each other, I do not care what YouTube thinks. They can censor me all the fuck they want.
We're gonna get notes. This is gonna get notes.
Oh,
You know
yes.
it.
You got, what's the record on the number of notes that you've had on a stream so far?
Dude, and let's get this fire going. Carla, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. The Wu flu lockdowns would have continued longer if old Brain Dead hadn't paid said on 60 Minutes that the pandemic was over. He screwed over his own cronies in the big farm companies. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they did the massive favors as well, didn't they? So, well, that's what they reckon that Operation Warp Speed was. It was really because they planned to lock you down way longer, but
Oh yeah.
because of Operation Warp Speed, um, that got the vaccine to market in record time. Otherwise, they would have done it longer.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey,
If they,
Mike.
that's
Comic
why.
Relief, Relief Crusader there.
Again, that's why they once they realized the jig was up and it was coming to an end,
Mm,
they started pivoting to, well, maybe we need to have climate lockdowns,
yeah,
regularly. I'm
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
good lord.
yeah.
Nope. It's all about what have you heard about the proposed, what they're calling 15-minute cities?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is CCP level
Dystopian.
tyranny.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course it is. Of
Have
course
you ever
it is.
seen in China, they've got gates all throughout their city where you actually have to identify yourself to pass through, and if you are
Oh,
a
wow.
you are a person that is a
Yep.
troublemaker, you are restricted in your movement. You can't pass through
Yeah,
these checkpoints.
yep,
That,
yep.
so that would be us.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Canada? Yes. Absolutely. In a heartbeat, I know it.
And Carla, would you mind reading this from our friend Jason
Cl-
Love?
Climate? How about meteorite showers, comet debris, and all the rocks meteorite that we can't see?
Huh?
That's exact. And Radioactive has a very good point saying you need to look at the climate
Yeah.
data over the past 100,000 years, not the past 100. That is
Yep.
absolutely correct. And there is my link on Rumble. I do have a Rumble channel, and I will be going and adding more over there as soon as I can. And Nemesis of Eden said, "Holy shit, West! Do you mind reading this?"
Oh,
Did you guys hear about the mega tsunami that hit Alaska a few days ago, over 1,500 feet? Is this
no.
is this the result of
That's
that
a very,
earthquake?
that's high.
There
Oh,
was an
actually, no, I did
earthquake.
see that. I
Yeah, there
did
was an
see that.
I'm
earthquake.
not sure if that's accurate.
They were bracing all along the left coast of the United States for surges because of the earthquake that happened. Where was it?
And Russia? And Russia?
No, in the Pacific,
Oh.
south of
Yeah.
Hawaii
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I forget exactly
Oh.
where, but yeah.
I can't
And
remember
Carla, would
either.
would you mind reading this from our friend Sashi, who knows because
Yeah.
Sashi is in that part of the world.
Yeah, Malaysians are currently fighting against the government about the implementation of digital IDs. They are trying to force everyone to use digital IDs for doing anything on the internet. Same with
Hmm.
Australia,
Don't
and New
fucking do
Zealand
it.
are trying. New Zealand, I reckon, will try that too. But Australia's doing that right now.
Yep.
Right now.
Well, the whole reason why Australia, and New Zealand as well, but Australia was so draconian during the Chinese flu was because, just if you remember, about, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, before that happened, they took all of the Aussies' guns. They,
Yes,
they had,
Yeah.
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 So
you
you
need to be a
disarm the
farmer
people, you could do whatever you
to
want to
have
them.
one.
Yeah. Yep.
You need, and even
Mm-hmm.
farmers can only have shotguns and minor weapons.
That's
And
right.
hell, Mike,
Mm.
the Comic Relief Crusader,
Oh.
hell, welcome to you, my friend. If you want a link, just say the word, my friend. No obligations. And come on, Canadian Spider-Man, light that fire. Try to set the night on fire. She's going. She's going, Jason Love. It's going. But I also wanted to
Yeah.
catch some of the sky while the sun is just
Yeah.
come down, right?
Looks like a beautiful gesso painting from Bob Ross over there.
Oh yeah, dude.
Ah,
Oh, dude.
yeah. That's beautiful.
Speaking of which, West Kegel, holy shit. It's far above fire.
And now we're gonna get another community note on the stream.
Yeah, this is fucking legal weed. This is I got this. I bought this off of Justin Trudeau himself.
Ah.
Well,
See, that's another thing. We locked everything down, but the cannabis dispensaries were open the entire time.
Dude, the convenience stores here, for some reason during the pandemic, you tell me this. Why during the pandemic we had laws that allowed alcohol sales to start at 7 a.m. as opposed to the normal 9 a.m. during the pandemic? Now, why is that a health? How is that a health response? Let's start selling booze at 7 a.m. instead of 9 a.m. And we didn't complain, but they wanted us and drunk and not paying attention. I mean, holy shit, it's so obvious. If you were to write down a plan to like take over a population, they've checked all the fucking boxes on that plan, man. Like, if it looks like a duck and it smells like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a fucking duck.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just about control too, because once they rolled out that that experimental gene therapy shot, it was not meant to help the disease. It was meant. I'm just gonna say it. It was meant to kill people
and to make money.
It's meant to kill. When they say they want to reduce carbon, you're the carbon they want to reduce.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, because the old age pension is going to be the biggest expenditure of the Canadian government in the next few decades, and that's undeniable. Comic Relief Crusader says Edmonton already has a 15-minute city. Well, wait a minute. Edmonton is a city. Do you mean they have 15-minute suburbs, or?
I think he means that it is a section of it that's supposed to be that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jason, once everything is controlled digitally, we are fucked. We have
no central bank digital currency.
That's right.
Yep, they're gonna that's what they're pushing for big time.
Carla, would you mind reading this, please, from our friend Sashi?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I was issued travel papers during the lockdown because I was declared an essential service. It was weird. I had to carry several copies to present to enforcement officers in case I was stopped.
Yeah, you know what that reminds me of?
Show
me your papers, please. Papers, please.
Show me your papers.
Right.
Are you fucking? And how come New Zealanders and how come Canadians and how come more Americans were not up in arms? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, the first time there was a report of that happened, 1,000 Canadians should have gone to the border immediately. What do you mean, show us your papers?
Yeah.
We're uneducated.
The thing is, we're on an island.
Fat and lazy. Well, not us.
But we're on an island, right? So when you're on an island, that's different to at least having a like a soft border like you guys have, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have that. We just, like, if you couldn't get to the airport, what are you gonna do? Or having said that, no, we weren't even allowed to travel out of Auckland, so that's true, because we weren't allowed out of Auckland or anything like that, and between the different regions.
Yeah. Damn.
We had
putting a link in the chat for that.
To the tsunami.
And Wes, do you mind reading this from our friend Susan Dolan?
Okay, yeah, sure. Susan says it was the volcano that popped its cork. Years back, a college professor and students mapped earthquake fault lines and discovered there's volcanoes on most of these fault lines. Yeah, it's called, around the Pacific, they call it the Ring of Fire.
Because the Pacific Ring of Fire.
Yep. It's all lined with faults and volcanoes. Yep.
Sashi, you're absolutely right. The leaders, they're not fighting Chinese communism. They're looking at it, and I never fucking thought. I never thought this when I was 30. Maybe I didn't have enough experience. I didn't see enough of the world. But now that I've seen the world and history through not a lot of years, but 50 years is enough. I see that now, that our leaders, they're not fighting communism. They see what communism has, and they say, hey, we could do that here. How convenient would that be? As soon as you've got friends.
As soon as you've got benefits in your system, you're screwed. Like, and the hospital, the free hospital, the socialized hospital care, and socialized medicine, and the and benefits for not working or whatever. as soon as your countries get that, you're screwed.
You're right.
Well, you
100%.
remember what your buddy said. Your
Hi,
buddy
Suzanne.
Trudeau said, right? He said he had a great admiration for the
Yeah.
Chinese basic Chinese
That's right.
dictatorship.
The basic
Mhm.
Chinese dictatorship, because they can get a lot done.
Yes.
Yeah, none of it's done correctly or long term,
Nope.
and it'll wreck a whole bunch of your population while you're doing it. But you're right. And Jason Love says everybody knows booze and Kush help fight everything. Oh, they help in this case.
They fuel Canadian Spider-Man.
A joint
It
a day
is,
keeps the
it is
doctor
my
away.
spinach. It is my spinach.
You know, there was a conspiracy theory. Of course, you know what conspiracy theory means now. It just means, over a certain amount of time, it becomes the truth.
Yep.
But the Chinese flu was intentionally released, not an accidental lab release, because the Chinese were trying to eliminate their demographic problem, which is they've got too many old people.
No.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. The social system in Canada is such that we can't afford it.
Yep.
No
Yep.
way.
Yeah, well, you think it's bad there? They've got it twice as bad over in China. One of the reasons is because of their one-child policy they had throughout the 70s and the 80s. Because you start with you're trying to reduce your population by telling everybody you can only have one child. Well, yeah, it will slow down the population growth. It will actually reverse it because you're having two people only making one child for every couple. However, the top is now heavy. You're going to have the top be very heavy, and you've got, all these people who are retired or not working anymore, and you don't have a big enough base. So all these wonderful things that socialists and communists always come up with always have consequences that if you actually sat down and thought it out for a minute before you implemented it, you'd see them, but they never look long term. Socialists and communists never look long term. They only see short term gains, and that's what they go for.
I would agree, except I would posit that the communists are playing the long game when it comes to taking over the world.
Well, that's true. No, that's true there. I don't disagree there.
We won.
Yeah.
Like 30 years ago. We just didn't realize they're still playing.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, just because the Soviet Union collapsed doesn't mean that. Well, see here, the Soviet Union collapsed and is gone. That's we won that. I'll give you that. But they had already done their job. They sowed their poison amongst the universities of the United States.
Exactly.
So even it's almost as if it's sort of like you're in a duel with poisoned arrows with an opponent. He shoots, you have a gun, he has a poisoned arrow. He shoots, you both shoot at the same time. You get him dead in the eye, so he's dead. But he got you with the poisoned arrow. You're not dead, but you are dead. Just not right now.
Unless this is Princess Bride.
But then he's mostly dead.
You're Carrie Elways and have been drinking that poison. That's true. Because we can inoculate our young people against communism, give them freedom to see what it's like, and and teach them true history. Susan Dolan says, if you've read 1984, Winston Smith was an alcoholic, drinking some cheap and awful Victory Gin. I never have read 1984. When I was
you should.
When I was 12 years old, my friend, we were all going over to his place to watch a movie in the old VHS tape cassette. We went to the movie store. His mom let us pick out 1984. And I don't know. I only saw like 20 minutes of it, but I'm assuming there was boobies in the first 20 minutes of it because she turned that video off and I never did get to see it.
I never watched the movie.
They were standing in front of a principal's or a desk of some sort of authoritative figure, and they were being disciplined, and there may have been boobs, and that's the last I saw. So I've never seen. I should read the book.
Is that the movie with John Hurt?
I do not know.
I'm pretty sure the only 1984 movie I know has John Hurt. The guy from Alien, the chest burster guy from Alien.
Oh, Jason Love says we don't say carbon. He's in the military, obviously. We don't say carbon reduction. We say hamburger time. Jesus.
Oh no,
And
that's from cartoon Metalocalypse. They don't. There's certain things they don't want to say, so they say hamburger time instead.
okay, that's awesome. And Wes, do you mind reading this, please?
Sure. Gunner says to us, just got a severe thunderstorm warning. I got about 6 or so inches. Could have been 10 inches of rain.
Inches.
As long as I have power, my basement is dry. That's a lot of rain.
Are you
Yeah.
sure that's not centimeters, dude?
That's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of rain.
How
Holy,
much
that's
rain?
drop-
So, oh no,
10
that
inches.
would be yeah.
Yeah.
That
That's
would
like
just be a flash flood.
25 inches
That's like a
or 25
How can it-
centimeters.
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
lot. That's a lot of rain.
believable. Yeah.
It is if you're in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not wrong. I had the same issue. We could get tons of rain, but the basement would be dry unless the power went out, and then the sub pump stopped working, and then the basement flooded. So,
West, I gotta have you read this if you don't mind.
Miskatonic Madman says, "Has the government enacted the Soylent Green edict yet? Soylent Green,
I don't.
it's people. It's
It is
people."
Speaking of people, hello, Radioactive.
Hey, how you guys?
Hello.
Doing well. Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good volume.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Yes,
You're
and some of
welcome, I
us, some of us are doing, some of us are doing better than others. Hint, hint. Canadian Spider-Man over there. With
Yeah,
the...
we're in trouble here. Oh shit. I want to welcome hello Canadian Spider-Man, says Suzanne. Hello and welcome to Suzanne. And our good friend Jason Love says Tiananmen Square. What a great idea. Yeah, you can write Tiananmen Square. You can say Tiananmen Square. You can say Nazi, write Nazi in this chat. We have a free speech platform
Nazi,
right
Nazi,
here
Nazi.
on my channel.
How
And
long
YouTube
ago
too.
was Tiananmen Square?
89. 1989. Yes.
Oh
Yep.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's
Remember,
right.
the first thing I knew about it was on MacGyver. There was a character on the thingy that was there or something like that.
Oh.
Right. I was there in 2004. Radioactive. Have you been to Tiananmen Square?
No, I have not been anywhere in mainland China. Sorry.
No.
Let's
Well-
just say my previous employers would not have probably liked that too much. I'd have had got permission.
Oh.
Oh dear, this is you know what Nemesis is. I'm afraid he might be right. Radioactive, are you okay to read this? Do you mind?
Let's see here. Oh, what? The one from Nemesis of Eden?
Yes, please.
Oh, the generation after mine wants to embrace communism and socialism. They don't understand the dark side of those types of government. They are so focused on fascism, which they also don't understand. But yes, that's true. None of these people understand what fascism is, but then again, they don't know what the origins of the word fascism is. It comes from fascia, which is Latin, and it was a stick that the Roman legionnaires carried with them for crowd control back during the Roman
Oh
Empire.
wow.
I was pretty sure
It was
wasn't
the school version. It was the ancients' version of a non-lethal weapon.
Well, was it?
Right.
Wasn't it? I thought it was derived. I could be wrong. But I thought it was derived from fascista, which was a bundle of sticks because they,
It may have been a bundle of sticks, but
and I don't mean that derogatorily.
Mussolini, of course, revived the term because he looked at himself as a modern-day Caesar, which is why he adopted that word, right?
Yep.
Because the idea was that he was going to rule by force.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, and because that always works.
Yep. Because he said it's true.
Well,
one stick is easy to break, but if they're all bind together, you can't break them. So that's why he said this. We have to put gather everybody together under the state, and we will be strong that way. Of course, it didn't work out so good for Italy. So
Yeah, and that's well, what I just heard a quote the other day, and it's the first time I heard it. But apparently, it's a well-known quote. Any government that is strong enough to give you everything you need is also strong enough to take everything you
Mm.
have.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't who was it? I can't remember exactly who said this, but oh, I know. You guys are gonna laugh at me because everybody laughs at him, but he's almost right all the time. Alex Jones once he coined the
I
term
like that
democide.
guy.
Well, he coined the term democide because if you look at history, governments have been the biggest murderers of their own people throughout all of history.
Why would you call it democide though?
Democide, I guess.
It
Demo
comes from the
meaning
term from demo,
yeah,
as in
yeah,
demos meaning the people.
yeah.
So the
Oh,
government, right? It's like the
Yeah.
oh,
same root for democracy. What is it? It's
yeah,
demo.
or
Yeah.
demographic and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, I know, but that's the thing is like that's not very democratic. That's what I was wondering. Like, why
The,
is it called
the
democide?
Chinese
Well,
people
no, it's
aren't.
actually very democratic because everybody gets to die.
Yes. Yes.
If you're an equal opportunity
Exactly.
destroyer, it
Yeah.
applies equally to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why
right.
that's why socialism is the way it is. Socialism is making everybody equally poor since 1917. So,
That's true.
Except the leaders.
ooh, yes, this is true. Yep.
Yeah, no kidding. And do you mind reading this, please?
Me.
Oh, the Chinese people are
Oh.
great.
Huh?
Yeah,
They are.
absolutely. It's the
They
government.
are.
It's the
Yeah.
government that sucks. And if you
Mhm.
stand in front of a moving tank, what happens? Well, fortunately, the tank stopped, but later on, that man was never heard from
Yep.
again.
Yep. Gone.
Yeah.
Tank man. Yep.
And Sashi says basements aren't a thing over here, not with our rainfall. Well, no, that's
Mm.
true. So 6 inches of rain will definitely flood a basement, but you don't have basements because
Yep.
you have all that
They have
rain.
very high curbs. They have very high curbs.
6 inches is quite a lot, old man bird. That is quite a lot. Let me
if
tell you.
she's not happy with 6 inches, she's being
She's
selfish.
a whore. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see,
Nemesis the Eden said, Carla, do you mind reading this from our friend Nemesis?
That's from Metalaca. I don't know what Metalocalypse is.
Metalocalypse.
They are Metalocalypse. I can't even say that now. They are scared of death, so they say hamburger time.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was referring to
I
that
don't know what
before.
that is.
It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon about a band called Death Clock who are so influential. They literally are the largest themselves are the largest economy on the planet, and so they're fabulously wealthy and they do anything they want. And they're a bunch of lunatics, and they were afraid of death, so they said don't talk about death. So they called it hamburger time all the time. It's actually a
Okay.
funny show. You
Okay.
should watch it. It is funny. Tony does all the voices. There's 5 of them, and he does all
Okay.
the voices. And he
Okay.
has a conversation together with them. It is amazing to hear him do this.
So, Spider, can you tell me? Is it in what do you call it? Why are some of the what do you know provinces in Canada
Yes.
stopping you from going to is it the forest? Like, what are
Yes.
they
The
stopping
woods,
people
yeah.
doing?
Yeah, you cannot go
So
in the
it's not the
woods. Yeah.
so instead of a fire, so now they've gone from fire, what do you call them? Bans to people bans.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That is absolutely correct. Ooh, holy shit. All right. Thank
Good.
you for this, Radioactive, in the private chat. We'll get to that in a minute. Yes, right now in Eastern Canada, in many provinces, the government is locking them down. You cannot go into the woods. And if you've been to Eastern Canada, most of the province, hey, teacher,
Is
leave
wood?
those kids alone. You're goddamn right, Jason Love. Most of the province, in like 80% of the province in New Brunswick, is woods. 80%
Yeah.
of Nova Scotia is woods, if not higher. It's probably higher than that. Same with Newfoundland. Same with they're restricting. They're testing the waters. It's like it's COVID 2.0. They want to know how much can we lock down these people and get them to comply, and they're doing it. They are, and you don't. The government doesn't even have to enforce it. Neighbors are ratting
Yeah,
on each other.
exactly.
Neighbors are yelling at
Yeah.
each other because
Yeah.
they're scared. It is
Yeah.
so crazy. It
Yeah.
is a fundamental right for us to be able to go into the woods as humans. I can roam this fucking earth as long as I'm in my country. I can go into the woods and live. If I want to check out from society and go and live and be the man in the woods in a cave on top of a hill somewhere on public land, why? So they're stopping that now. You cannot do that, and they're automatically assuming that we are all criminals. They're saying that no, you can't go in the woods because you're going to start a fire.
Yep.
Well, I've been hiking my entire childhood up to 26 years old. I hiked in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia and PEI, and I never once had my hiking shoes light a fire. Not once.
Well, you know,
And
it's
we have a thing that all democracy, anyone that studies democracy, it's based on one principle. You are innocent until proven guilty. So by saying that I'm going to go in and light a fire, no, I'm not. I'm not. In fact, if I see a fire, I'm going to call it in.
Remember,
And
do you
I've got
remember
a
those?
buddy who was in the woods around here not long ago, 2 years ago, during our firefight, during our, we had a dry season, and he actually spotted a fire and called it in, and no one else had reported it. And they were trying to tell him, no, we know about that fire. We've got it right here. And he goes, no, you don't know about this fire. This is a different one. You don't know. And he was right. And they sent water bombers. They got it out. So no,
great.
it's about keeping people out of the woods. It's about restricting movement, and the government doesn't have to enforce it. The people in Eastern Canada are so worried about looking bad. They're all about virtue signaling, and they have to do the right thing, and their neighbors have to make sure that they know that they're good people. And so if you're a bad person because you're endangering others by going in the woods, then all the other neighbors will jump on you and call you a bad person for doing that because they want to look like good people. It's all about virtue signaling, and it is so but they believe it. They believe it to their core. And they do not understand. They've never traveled to communist countries. I've been to 4, you know, and they don't study history, and they haven't been to museums, and they don't know what's around the corner. The bad people in the world that want to control the world, they will use your kindness against you.
Yeah.
They will, and that's exactly what's happening in Eastern Canada. We're seeing it in real time.
Weaponized. Yeah.
I've never started a fire. I've hiked the woods all my life. I'm from that area. But I have friends and family that will argue with what I've just said. They will completely say that I'm being selfish and that I should go along to get along, and I should just do what everyone else says. And before you know it, they're going to have no freedom. And I'm going to be in Texas saying, I told you so. I told you so. And I will tell them that.
Yeah, well, it's even worse.
It's following orders, isn't that the way what you're supposed to do? Is just follow orders.
Well,
That's
we've decided that that's not a defensible answer since 1946. So
well, it wasn't then, but it is now. You haven't seen a repeat of Nuremberg yet, have you?
Nope.
Exactly. Exactly. And until such time as you do, or people decide to be more entrepreneurial and do what could be done, let's just say, you're not going to get anything done about it, because that's why they keep pushing this stuff, because nobody reacts in a, say, more peaceful way.
But the media also, like you blame the government. I actually blame the media as well. But maybe I should blame people for believing the media in the first place, right? Because the media want that as well. Like, you look at all the division they've caused. Like, would you call yourself right wing or left wing or center? most of us would call ourselves centre, but but what we say is class that the media like there or there's only ever extreme right or left leaning. There's no other. There's no central. There's no
Yeah.
centre anymore.
Well,
And
see,
I don't
you're
really.
you're trying to be a far center extremist there, Carla. That's the other problem. So, if you're a far center extremist,
I think we coined a new
Yeah.
term here tonight.
I've had that term for a while. I just haven't
Nice.
had it out there too
Well,
in
there
a
you
good
go.
in a
Now
good
now
form
it's
for
out
people
there.
to start using it
Ah.
virally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. That is funny.
But yeah, and so the media stoke up, and they stoke up the fear that make like Canadian Spider-Man said that the people want to appear good, the virtue signal and all that, because the media tells it. And
Yep.
But
yeah,
who
I
do
don't
they
know
want
who's
to
by now.
appear good to? That's the other thing. They never ask themselves, who do they want to appear good to?
Yeah, that's
Oh, it's the
true.
government. It's an
Mm,
authority figure.
mm.
It's
Well,
not. It's they're not actually thinking that they need to be good to say some higher power or anything because they don't
Oh,
believe
no.
in that.
True.
No. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's even the situation is even worse though than just telling you you're not allowed to go into the woods, because I mean, if my understanding is correct, if I was a landowner in New Brunswick or any of those eastern provinces, and say I had 1,000 acres and it was all wooded, they would tell me I'm not allowed to go in there, even if it's my own property.
That's what I believed, and I'm not sure that is the case, Wes Cagle. I did believe that was the case a few days ago, but now I understand that they are strongly encouraging people to stay off their own property, but they won't actually enforce it by fining you. It is
Yet.
only public property, but it doesn't matter, public or private. You're still, it's in our Constitution. We have the ability to cross over the land. If I want to go out into the wilderness and go live there, I can. There's nothing whether it's public or private. And you wait, it's public now, but private is
Exactly.
that's the next step.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna
That's
say.
the next step.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you a question, Canadian Spider-Man. I'm just curious about this because I don't know the answer. I'm not in your country, but when you say you have the right to something in Canada, is it hardwired the same way it is for us? Because
No.
I don't get the impression that in all the parliamentarian governmental systems around, say, the first world, as it's called, or Europe and outside the U.S., that you really have hardwired rights.
We don't.
Okay.
And we
I
saw
just
that
wanted to
during
make
the
sure I
freedom.
got a clarification on that.
Yeah, no, we think we have rights, but there's nothing to back them up.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
we
you
have
don't
a
have
piece
rights.
of
You have
paper.
privileges.
During the Freedom Convoy in Ottawa, it was a peaceful demonstration. The Federal Court of Canada later on ruled that it was absolutely a legal protest, and the government at the time refused to talk to the protesters, and they declared a state of emergency, which is basically the War Measures Act that had never been used before on a peaceful group. And
Yeah.
after the fact, the federal court ruled that was illegal for them to have done that, to enact the War Measures Act, which essentially under the War Measures Act or the Emergencies Act, it basically suspends all constitutional rights, and the government can treat its citizens however it wants, which it did. It shut down bank accounts, it arrested people,
Yeah.
all of the above. And the court after the fact ruled that no, the government was wrong to do that. They actually didn't have the right to do that. They did violate our Constitution.
And are they punished?
And nothing
Are
happened.
they punished like and other people?
There's no
The
punishment.
people are punished through the whole COVID
Nothing.
thing. Everyone was
They just
punished.
said
but
nope. They said nope. There was no punishment. There was no consequences. No repercussions.
Yep.
Nope. Everyone just went on their business and said, "Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough," and then forgot about it. Well, I haven't forgotten about it. I'm never going to forget about it. I'm
No.
never gonna forget about it because I wasn't vaxxed
Mhm.
and I felt like a third world
Mhm.
citizen. I know it.
Oh, us too. Me too. Yeah.
Wait a
I've
minute.
been
Are
to
you guys
Auschwitz.
saying that you're
I've been to
actually
Poland.
organic?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You're not
Yeah.
a GMO?
No.
No, it's
Funnily
crazy.
enough.
I'm a
And,
pure
and
blood.
you're right. We don't have any.
Mm.
We don't have the Second Amendment. We do not have the right to bear
Mm.
arms. We also don't have the First Amendment, the right to free speech. We do not
Mm.
have. Our Constitution is toilet paper. It means nothing. The government
Oh yeah.
just violated it 4 years ago. The
Mhm.
federal court said, "Yep, they violated the shit out of the Constitution,
Mhm.
and we're not going to
Mhm.
do anything about it." So that's the same
Yeah.
as having a law that's not enforced ever. It's like an
Mm.
establishment, or you go into this pub and say, "Oh no smoking in here," except everybody does because no one enforces it. Then it's as if the law does not exist. So
Yep.
no, you raise a good point, Radioactive. Our Canadian Constitution means nothing. I own 3 copies of it, and I might as well throw them all in the fire. And that's why
Mm.
I'm not going to stay here much longer.
Can
I'm
I
not
ask you a
going to.
question? Has there been any say movement by the people of Canada to revise their government from the ground up? Or is there even a mechanism for them to do it?
Ooh. There isn't a mechanism. No, really, no. Our electoral process is about it. Oh, Jason loves this. Old man bird, tell her she has an echo down there. Okay, I was wondering about that because I'm not using earphones, and I'm wondering if I was causing an echo.
Oh, who? Okay.
But
Well, I have to
Carla
go
Byrne,
anyway. I
you've
have to go.
you do you said you only had an
Sorry.
hour. So
Yeah,
thank you for
yeah.
being
So
here.
thanks for having me. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And maybe if I move the
Nice chatting with you again, Carla.
microphone
Yes.
a little
Always
I
great when you're
love
here.
it when you're on chat. Radioactive is the best. And
Heck
is that
yeah.
West Kegel is as well, and Canadian Spider-Man.
That's great.
I love
You
it.
need to be
What
inclusive
is it?
now.
I'm a far center. What am I? Radioactive?
Oh,
A far center extremist.
Yeah, I'm a far center extreme.
who was radicalized on Twitter.
That should be the
There
name
you
of
go.
this stream. Okay. Anyway, thanks for having me.
All right,
Yes.
thanks
I'll
for
see you
being
later,
here,
boys.
Carla.
Great. Have
No
a good night. Oh,
worries.
have a good
Bye.
evening. Or whatever time it is down there.
It's dinner time. It's dinner time.
Yes, have a good
It's 4
evening then.
o'clock, but we're going to listen to the Lord of the Rings now. I told them we
Mm.
have to listen to it now, so that's what
Oh,
we're going
nice.
to do.
Excellent.
Okay, see ya.
All right. Take care.
All right, see you. Thanks, Carla. See you next time. And I do want to. Radioactive says, of course, Justin Castro has a great admiration from the CPP controlled China. Yeah, they do. Yeah, 100% they do. Absolutely. He doesn't get it. He just doesn't understand it. Oh, wow. Okay. This is interesting. Radioactive, do you want to talk about this? And we certainly can on this channel. You say West Kegel, have you seen the reports that as many as 250 million people may have died during the lockdown party?
Yeah, and that's specific to China, by the way. That's not
Yep.
worldwide.
Yep, that's what I was talking about. That with the conspiracy theory, people called it a conspiracy theory.
Well,
that it was intentionally released to deal with their population demographic problem.
Now, in the private chat, I linked you to a series of videos that are here on YouTube. The channel in question is called Lee's, Lei, because it's Chinese. Lee's Real Talks. Okay, and this lady's one of the sharpest ladies I've seen on YouTube.
Oh, I know her. She's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I've
really
heard
good.
of her too. I've
She
heard
is.
of her.
Okay, so you guys know who I'm talking about. Okay.
Yes.
If you watch these particular ones, there's several others, but I figured I didn't want to overkill it too much, and I'll leave it to you to post in the open chat if you want. But if people go to her channel and look up the what would be population, just look up population on her channel. You'll have several of these videos pop up.
Yes.
And
China's
one of the things that has been discussed on her channel, and you can call it conspiracy, but the reality is that she's backing up with real numbers.
Exactly.
That the actual population of China is actually maybe as low as 800 million. It
I
is
was gonna
not
say
2 billion
800
people.
million. And she's not the
And-
only one to say that.
Yes, and she's not the only one saying that. And that during the beer virus festival there in China,
Yes.
that they may have lost as many as 250 million people.
Wow.
Those are some of the estimates being put forth, because I'm sure you guys all know about the 24/7 crematoriums that were being run
I heard
all
about
the time. Okay.
I heard about those.
But if you look at some of that, she's put together quite a bit of information, including anecdotal snips from other people that are in China that say these are Chinese citizens going, where did everyone go?
Right.
And the
But she
people in the
uses
urban,
government numbers.
Yeah,
She
and the-
uses the government-owned numbers.
yes, yes. And so when the people are asking the urban centers, they're asking, well, did all these people go back to their rural areas where they came from? And then all the people they know in the rural areas saying, no, we thought everyone left to go to the city. So there's nobody in the countryside. The urban centers are becoming empty, and they show the before after pictures, like a busy street in Shanghai, or pick your city, Beijing, and 5 o'clock. Where's the traffic? There's no traffic on the
Right.
main thoroughfares. Where'd everybody go?
Yes, PS2 Chipper, I'm going to read that comment. I hate communism. Yes, agreed, because it is the opposite of freedom and individualism. And people think individualism, oh, you're just being selfish. Well, maybe, perhaps, but that is how the greatest nation on earth that's how the USA was founded. I mean, individualism has gotten that's how society progresses. It's just the way it is. It's all, you know what? If everyone was actually a good person, and if all our leaders were actually nice and they had our best interests at heart, communism would work. But guess what? Our leaders are greedy, and anyone who becomes a leader will become greedy, and therefore it's never gonna work. They've tried it. I've been to 4 countries. It doesn't work.
Communism sounds great. There's only one thing that's in the way: human
shit.
nature. So
Gunnar says, I have a 3-inch trash pump with a 120-foot suction line and a 220-foot discharge line. Holy shit.
I guess that's for pumping out the basement when it's
Yeah, no kidding. That'll do it. Well, that'll fight forest fires over here, buddy. Pump your basement water into our fires in Alberta. And Wes, do you mind reading this while I crack another beverage, my friend?
Yep. So she says Malaysia stood against communism between the 60s and the 80s, only to implement the control aspects of that system now. Yeah, well, that seems to be the new way. Implementing communism without actually implementing communism.
Well, they just rebrand it, right?
Yeah,
They come up with a new catchy brand name for it.
Yeah, democratic socialism.
That's it. That's exactly. Anyone that thinks China isn't capitalist, I'm sorry. Money controls everything in China. It really does. Yep. Money controls everything, and it's capitalism controlled by the government and big business. That's what it is.
It's capitalism at the highest levels, but it's the socialism for all the plebes and the serfs. That's the way they want it. Which is what the Great Reset, that good old fashioned Klaus Schwab like to call it.
Yeah, well,
right?
it's
Great Reset. It's about resetting the modern economy of the 20th century, developed in the 20th century, and reverting it back to the feudalism system that was in place basically about, say, 500 to 700 years earlier, at least in the Western European nations. That's what they want.
Europe has been trying to kill the American experiment since its inception.
True.
Well, that is also true. And it's gone through various organizational names over that time. During the 1700s, the late 1700s, they were called the Jacobites.
Yeah.
And so they changed their names over the years, but the same core philosophy has stayed in place the whole time. It is an authoritarian philosophy meant to control things top down.
Yep.
Yeah,
The biggest
you're right.
purveyors of that are the Frankfurt School. They were the they were the brain trust
Economically,
of
yes.
Yes, yeah.
Versus the Austrian school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you mind reading this, please? Radioactive from our friend Susan Dolan.
Oh, well, okay. In 1984, people lived in terror of their own children, and she's referring to the book here. Like in the USSR, to spy on their own parents and denounce them to the thought police.
That's true.
Hmm?
It was the young that turned on the old. And they turned on the teachers. They turned on their parents and their grandparents. That is absolutely how that happened.
Yeah.
And
Yes, that was
you
the
don't
popular
think
way of
that's
doing
not happening
business.
now.
Yeah.
Of course, the parents don't even get a right to say what their kids are being taught or whether they're transforming into women or men or whoever in Canada. It is, yeah. Sashi
Yeah.
says, ooh, the Type 59 tank, the Chinese version of the T-54. That is correct. That was the picture that I just showed. Now, do you suppose I'm going to get a warning from YouTube for showing this? Because fuck you, YouTube. Guess what? I'm going to show it again.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah. I
there
just
you go.
looked. I just
Let's
looked over at
show this
YouTube.
again. Hi,
Well-
YouTube. Hey, because this is real history. This happened. Hey, China, guess what? This happened.
Yeah, but
Well-
he's just the
Traffic
crossing
cop.
guard. He's just
Yes.
the crossing guard. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the parade marshal.
Yeah.
Well, I looked over at I'm on two devices. I have StreamYards on one and YouTube on the other. I just looked over on the YouTube one. We're already taken down. We don't exist anymore. They got rid of us.
Are you kidding?
No,
We are
I'm
no
kidding.
longer-
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was
would
going
not
to
be
say that there
surprised.
must be a delay
Said
because
the
I'm
Great
not
Barrier
seeing
Reef
anything.
is doing fine. We're definitely
Oh.
going to get a climate strike because I said
Yeah.
that climate change is
Oh, you
it-
mean
it's
climate
not
hate?
affecting us
It's called
detrimentally.
climate bigotry. You got to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
in mind. See, you guys aren't tracking this right. Why do they want to reduce carbon? Because it's black.
Oh, that's racist.
Okay, it's a minority element of color. It's
That's
only
right.
about
Ah.
like 3% of the Earth's crust, and it's less than, or sorry, 0.3% of the Earth's crust, and about
Right.
0.2% of the Earth's atmosphere.
I've been
So
on,
yeah,
I've
so
been on Grand
we should
Cayman.
always ask these climate people, well, what do you have against minority elements of color?
That's right. Exactly.
Remember back in the day in the 80s when they were trying to reduce sulfur? Because it's
Oh,
yellow.
for the acid rain.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause it's
right.
yellow.
right.
Yeah,
Sulfur
we
is
know what
good.
they were really saying.
That is racist.
Exactly.
Next, it'll be iron.
Well, yeah. When are they going to go after iron? They went after phosphorus because it was white, but that was a given.
Well, that's okay though.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's right.
Suzanne in the chat says, Canadian Spider-Man, Tamara Lich was given a jail sentence for that freedom convoy.
Yeah, she was.
Well, I don't know. It's that they haven't determined whether it's going to be time served or they're going to take. They said this 2 weeks ago when they came down or 1 week ago when they came down. They did convict them. Yep, you're guilty, but they're going to take their sweet time in sending out a sentence. She's probably going to get jail time, but whether they say it's because she's already served like 2 years, if she goes back in jail, expect another freedom convoy going right to Ottawa, and I will be part of it. You're goddamn right. If she actually goes back to jail, her and Chris. Now it's also Chris Barber. There's a gentleman called Chris Barber, and he's actually looking at 1 more year than Tamara Lich. He's looking at 8 years for mischief, and she's looking at 7 years. Now, I don't know whether the judge is going to give them that. If he actually gives them, or no, it's actually a girl. I think it is a woman. If the woman gives them actual jail time, you can expect a civil war in Canada, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. And
Now,
the police
can
are
I
probably
be
going to come to my
sarcastic
door
here?
saying, and I'm encouraging a riot. No, that
Can,
is
can,
not true.
can I be sarcastic here? When you guys say war, do you mean like you're just going to like what? Shake a newspaper at them or what?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we
Oh
don't.
Okay.
no
All
no
right.
no 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 no! When Canadians are all nice and get along, go along, and except when it comes to war. I mean, this is the country that they have declared the Geneva Convention, Geneva Suggestions, not.
That is.
Yes.
Oh,
The Canadians are brutal when they finally go to war.
that is
when they,
true.
yeah, it takes them a
We
while to
were.
get fired up, but when they get fired up, it's not
They
nice.
told us to stop using chemical weapons in World War One, and we kept using them. We just wouldn't listen. And we made homemade weapons. The Germans were scared the fuck out of
So
us.
what you're saying is you guys keep suppressing all of your actual feelings so much that
No,
by the
it's
time it
sexual
builds up,
frustration.
you just
100%.
let her rip.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I don't know if you've taken a look at Canadian ladies lately, but it is mostly sexual frustration, and we just go nuts when given the chance to do violence. That is true. Sorry,
Yep.
Canadian women, but you got to do better. I'm talking to the dating age, not to anyone in our chat who doesn't care about those things anymore.
Yeah.
But, yes, it's just bad. It's just not good. And I want to say hello to RRTNZ. Radioactive carbon is the fifth most common element in the universe. Sad to see all the hydrogen supremacists complaining about it. Exactly. Bingo.
That's a true statement. Yeah. Hydrogen supremacy is a real thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. I don't know what's happening to I have given up on Canada completely. The fact that all of Canada isn't up in arms over the ban of going into the public woods. And well, it's for our safety. Well, yeah, and I'm gonna kill grandma if I don't get this injection too, right? It's the same fucking argument. It's the same people.
Unfortunately, here in this country, our politicians were telling us that if we didn't get the shot, we were going to kill grandma. Put a whole bunch of COVID patients in with grandma and killed her anyway. So
that's right. That's right.
And then let her die alone because we couldn't see her.
They suppressed all the research that was coming out that ivermectin was working, that vitamin D, that, hey, fresh air and exercise might make you healthy. The immune system does as good a job as these COVID shots. No, they suppressed all of that shit.
Okay, true or false? Here's a little quiz question for you since you brought this up. True or false? Ivermectin was developed for humans before animals.
True.
True.
Most veterinary
most people don't realize
are derived
that
from humans.
Most people don't realize that specifically when it comes to ivermectin, it was developed after it was developed, it won the medical Nobel Prize.
Right.
I think it was in 1995, and it was for human consumption.
Yeah.
They then later used it for animals.
Yeah, it was the side effect they found. It was a good dewormer. That was not what it was intended for.
No, but it worked. Yeah, it's called a miracle drug. That's
why
it's actually a true miracle drug.
It's true. It's not like we develop veterinary medicines separate from human medicines. No, they are developed the same, and we use the dosages and the variations depending on what creature we're treating. But human medicines have always been used on animals and vice versa. And yeah, you're right, old man bird. That Tiananmen guy was brave. Excuse me. He absolutely was. And this is why this was my screensaver on my laptop for quite a while. And the reason why I was able to pull this picture up so quickly is because it is located on a file folder I have on my desktop named Freedom. And this picture will always be on that file folder, and that file folder named Freedom will always be on my desktop, and I will always be able to pull this up.
Yeah.
You're goddamn right. This is even more stunning than that Ottawa Freedom Convoy with the big freedom sign and the Canadian flag going. I love this picture. And Radioactive, can I read this? Holy shit. I'm going to read this.
Sure.
Radioactive just put it in the private chat. The man who stood in front of tanks during the Tiananmen Square protests in 1989, famously known as Tank Man, remains an anonymous figure, and his fate is unknown. Oh, I think we know that he was killed pretty quickly, and his entire family was killed after this.
Mhm.
Fuck you, Chinese Communist government. While some reports claim he was executed shortly after the incident, internal Chinese Communist Party documents deny any knowledge of his identity or whereabouts, according to Wikipedia. You don't say. Well, then who controls Wikipedia? Could it be China?
Mm.
Could it be Satan? That's a church lady, folks.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Wikipedia was intended as a good thing because
Hey,
people could edit it. Unfortunately, you get a lot of bad faith actors who have editing capabilities, and then they just rewrite stuff that's actual bullshit.
Yep, you're right. And Sashi, Radioactive, do you mind reading this from our friend Sashi?
Oh, let's see. What does he say here? Ivermectin was a requirement by the U.S. government for refugees from certain areas of the world. That may be true. I'm not familiar with that particular thing, but yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's been used in a lot of third world countries and second world countries. You watch, we're going to get a strike or a community notice because we're advocating ivermectin.
Well,
I've
just
got some
say
in my backpack, I'll tell you that.
that we're not medical people, so we're just reporting on it.
Yeah, and no, I'll give medical advice. Fuck you, YouTube. I'll give medical advice, and if anyone is dumb enough to follow it, that is on them. I'm not liable. All right? You're goddamn right I'm giving medical advice, and if you're dumb enough to follow it, I'm not liable. Sashi says, what is the saying? Eventually every liberator will be put on the cloak of the oppressor, or something like that. Yep. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, the legions of the youth coming out of our indoctrinational centers known as universities these days don't understand that they think they're fighting for revolution and change. Well, once the revolution comes, the people in charge realize the only people that can unseat them are the ones that provided the muscle for the revolution. So they all are the first to be stood up against the wall at the conclusion of the revolution. They don't know this. They don't understand this. You look at history.
They don't study history a lot. And yes, PvP says the West is being run by globalist fools. You are correct.
Specifically the EU. The EU is nothing but the mustache man's wet dream.
You're right. Wes, do you mind reading this from our friend Susan Dolan? I'm going to put some more sticks on the fire here.
Susan Dolan says getting rid of the carbon means trees suffocate and can't exhale O2, and then we suffocate. That's kind of how the cycle of respiration on the planet works. Yeah. Carbon dioxide is plant food, literally. That and the chlorophyll, sunshine. So, but yeah, without it, when you have an abundance of there was I saw it just today. There was a guy on Twitter, was a scientist. Now he stumbled at the end because he showed that he's not truly on board with us, but he said that, and this is an actual climate scientist, said that we are in a CO2 drought right now, meaning that we're going to see significant reduction in greenery on the planet. The reason that if you look at a map of areas in the United States, it's far greener than it had been from when the Pilgrims were here. But that's going to reverse if they keep reducing carbon. You reduce carbon, you reduce the greenery, then you reduce the greenery, then you reduce the oxygen. It's a vicious cycle. They don't understand that they have it backwards. We don't get a whole lot of CO2 because because we're burning stuff. We get a whole lot of, I don't know. They just drive me so nuts sometimes. I can't even think straight with these people.
Well, yeah, plants love CO2. I mean, look at the prehistoric times when there were palm trees in Alberta You know, I mean, we can see the evidence from that. If you go up to some of those Drumheller is a good example of dinosaur sites and archaeological sites, and there were palm trees. The Earth was a lot warmer back then. We had a lot more carbon, and plants love carbon dioxide. The Earth does well when we are warmer with more carbon. That's
Yeah. Oh, that's how they have it backwards. They think that the planet heats up because there's carbon, but they have it backwards. There's carbon because the planet's already warm.
exactly. And ooh, this is a good radioactive. Do you mind reading this from our friend?
Hold on. Yeah, just 1 second here.
Sure.
I'm
You
sharing
don't have to put
a
on pants. It's
graphic with
okay.
you. Since you're talking about the climate stuff, I'm sharing you a graphic you can post. Yeah, they want to destroy traditional family values, Christianity, morality, etc. Well, of course, that's their whole point.
Well, that was
It's
that
it's
was
it's mostly focused on Christianity. It's not
yeah.
focused on anyone else.
Well, that was the whole point of the Cultural Revolution, yeah, to get rid of the four olds, as Mount called them.
Right. Yeah,
So,
that's right.
old traditions, old values, old history, and old. I forget what all four olds were, but he wanted to get rid of everything that came before it. And I think that was in 1984 as well.
Yep.
The quickest way to destroy a people is to destroy their connection to their past.
And that's why you see all the stuff going on in the pop culture stuff too. It's because they want to
true.
destroy all of the modern iconography as well.
Yep.
That's right. William Shatner.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
soon they're gonna
The
be coming after.
strange new woke is
Yeah.
doing as good a job as they can to try to dismantle
Luke
and
Skywalker.
yes,
Yeah, they have
soy
to
wars,
destroy
Disney soy
anything that
wars,
unites us.
huh?
Anything that unites us. You know. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
I
yeah, but
travel
it's
around the
cultural
world.
vandalism. So they
I
have to go
travel
about.
around the world, and I see people in Latin America, people in Thailand, people in Australia, people in Europe, people in South America. They're all they they all they're wearing Spider-Man stuff. They're wearing Spider-Man gear. They love Spider-Man. And you fucking watch. They're going to come after Spider-Man next. And if they try to make Spider-Man gay or home or whatever, if they try and ruin Spider-Man by making him a black Asian woman who likes zucchinis, I'm telling you, they're going, you fuck with Star Trek, you fuck with Star Wars, you fuck with Batman, whatever. You touch Spider-Man, you're all dead. You're all dead. I'm telling you, you do not fuck with Spider-Man. The world loves Spider-Man, okay? And you barely got away with it with Luke Skywalker. You barely got away with it with Luke Skywalker. You come for Spidey, you come for us all.
Yes. Well said. Yep. Yep.
Ooh, is that a Firefly Serenity? No, that's the brown coats. Brown shirts.
Oh yes, the SA, the Sturmabteilung.
Oh.
The World War II bad guys, the Sturmabteilung.
Oh, we can say Nazi on this channel.
Yeah.
Fuck you, YouTube.
It's just
You can't
it's a
hold
force of habit.
monetization against me because guess what? I'm not monetized, YouTube.
Yeah.
Suck a
The
dick.
the SA, the predecessor to the SS.
Yes. Okay. And West Kegel, do you mind reading this from our friend Sashi?
Yes, Sashi tells us that we seem to be hitting all the cancellation check marks today. We might as well bring up the World Economic Forum, which is that is, like I said, that they are the EU's evil. They are the evilest of the EU
We need
shit.
to get rid of those guys.
Well, they're not. That's technically the EU, part of the EU, but
And
they're.
I'm not saying this is how we should settle things, but if they need a carpenter who can build a guillotine, I'm pretty sure I can build a guillotine. I'm just saying, and I would volunteer my time if they needed some help there. PvP Pleasant Valley Picker says Canadian nurses will need to practice voodoo. Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're getting hit left, right, and center. You need to be vaccinated and all the above to be a nurse now. And yeah, you're fighting an uphill battle there. Nice fire, Spidey, says DVB. Hey, welcome,
Yes.
BVB. Carbon, it's what plants crave. You're right. Hey, that's a commercial, I think, somewhere, isn't it?
It's a PSA.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. PVP says, question, why do peaceful trucker protesters look at years in prison while terrorist supporters get nothing? That is a true story in Canada. Yep, that is true. Nazi war heroes get standing ovations in the Canadian House of Parliament. That is a thing that happened. Meanwhile, peaceful trucker protesters who are being charged with a misdemeanor nuisance, disturbing the peace type things, are facing 7 and 8 years. Although you can diddle kids repeatedly and only get 4 years, 5 years. You can literally take a human life and get 4 years in our Canadian justice system. You don't believe me? Look it up. That is true.
Yeah, no, you are correct. They don't. They
Canadians
talk
are
about
sheep.
protecting. They talk
You
about
are
protecting
correct.
children, but
There will
they
be
don't really
no
care about it.
uprising. No, you're right. Unrising, but I think you mean uprising. You're right. PvP. See, Pleasant Valley Picker. He's older than I am, and he's in the minority amongst people his age because he is an awakened individual. He is not being fooled, in my opinion. And he's right. There will be no uprising in Canada. Canada will fall. We will welcome it. We will virtue signal with our elbows up the whole way down. So, if you've noticed, people leaving Canada is at an all-time high, and you're going to see that increase. And West Kegel and Radioactive, what happens if all the people in Canada that are going to fight for justice, what if they slowly start leave and then quickly start leaving? Who's left? People that will fight for justice? No. It's a what's it called when it snowballs? It becomes a
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, an exponential effect.
exponential growth. Yes. Yeah, and it is a self-fulfilling prophecy because as more communism comes to Canada and totalitarianism, the people that crave freedom, including the immigrants from the Eastern Bloc that have moved here, will flee, leaving fewer and fewer people that will fight against the oppressors. So you're right, PvP. There will be no uprising. And holy shit, Radioactive, what are you sharing here, buddy? Is that your wife or who? Oh, no. Okay. No, I see what that is.
No, that's your controversial data that could get you banned.
Oh, I have no issue there. Let's throw that up.
Oh yeah.
So what are we looking at? And let's take a look at this.
This is the timeline that you're supposed to look at.
Yeah, this is the last 100,000 years of climate data, and the dotted line shows basically where the average temperature is today. That last 2,000 to 3,000 years is that to the right where you see beginning of agriculture and the great European civilizations.
So warmer temperatures good for plants.
Well, the important thing to take away from this is that the climate has not changed in 2,000 years.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway.
Yeah. It's not the Industrial Revolution that caused it.
The global temperature has not changed in over 2,000 years. In fact, it hasn't changed. The reality is where you see it start to be a flat line, that's about 10,000 years of climate data right there. And the last 100,000 years beyond that to the left of the graphic shows you how things went up and down, up and down, up and down, and it wasn't caused by people unless you want to assume by the modern model that these idiots keep trying to lie to you about, that human beings are causing all of this before that.
Yeah.
No. I think we can judge all of climate history of the whole planet just based on the last 100 years, can't we? And then make alarming predictions.
Well, if you ever look at the way they always present it on the news, they'll say something like, "This is the hottest year on record for the last 5 years." Well, that doesn't mean anything.
It means
5 years. We've only been tracking temperature in the modern sense with a thermometer for only about 100 years.
Yeah, you
It's
know what?
Pretty accurate on
I
the
have issue.
outside.
I have issue with there was a huge issue with how they quote unquote track temperatures. You know, all those sensing stations, they
Yeah,
all put them by airports by the hot tarmacs.
well, of course.
All of them.
They
All
put
of
them on
them.
the top of buildings where you get a lot of heat reflection and everything
Yep.
else.
And
Yeah, it's all skewed. It's all
hello,
skewed.
lemon pie.
Most of
Lemon
this
pie.
data, though,
Hello,
if you look at
fruitcakes.
this climate data is taken from several sources. Okay, the tree ring data, it's taken from the ice core samples that are like in Antarctica and in
Yes.
the glacial regions in the north above the Arctic Circle. So you're seeing what the real climate data is. You're not seeing the crap that they keep selling you at. They try to pigeonhole you into getting rid of your vehicles and getting rid of your air conditioners and getting rid of everything else because they want to turn you into slaves again. That's
Yes.
the goal.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
And you're not being hyperbolic when you say that. Like we're not kidding. This is, and it's not like a bunch of them meet every month in a diabolical cave somewhere to plan this. No. It's just they have the power, they have the control. They don't want us to have it, and
Yep.
it is not. It's happened for a long, long time.
Well,
So thank you for that.
yeah. Well,
And I,
it's exactly what. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Spidey. You go.
well, no, you go ahead, and then I was going to ask you to read this from our friend Old
Oh,
Man Bird. But finish
okay.
your point, West, and then please go ahead.
No, see, it's the whole reason. This is the whole reason around all this language war. You know, you get it because they change things for several reasons. One of them in this instant is, you know, it was global cooling, then it was global warming, then now it's
Right?
climate change because you can't argue that the climate changes. The climate has been changing wildly for all of Earth's 4.5 billion years. As a matter of fact, it was a snowball, a complete ice ball, like twice. So you can't argue that it changes. The problem is that their theory is that it's anthropogenically driven, and it's not.
We don't have the information. We're looking through a keyhole, trying to see the whole room. We just have this much data. I'm sorry, that's not how science works. And
No.
anyone that says they know for a fact, that's not how science works. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
well, it's also their predictions are all based on computer models. Now, computer models rely on the data that's entered, and they enter the data that they want, so it gives them the results they want.
Thank
It's how computers work. It's garbage in, garbage out.
do you mind reading this from our friend Old Man Bird? Because he's got a couple of good things
Yeah,
right
sure. Old Man Bird says the EU was meant to imitate the economic success of the United States. True, but the USA has a constitution and a Bill of Rights that enumerates 6 things the federal government can do. Not supposed to do anything else. Yes, see, that's. I argue this all the time. I've been saying it since I was in high school that the Constitution is not meant to grant the government power. A couple things. It doesn't grant the government power.
No.
It limits the government power, and we need to force the government to start obeying the goddamn 10th Amendment. You friggers in D.C. need to obey the
What's it?
10th
I don't know what the
Amendment.
10th Amendment is. I'm going to
It-
put fire.
Okay? The 10th
What-
Amendment specifically says that
Free the boobs.
well, that would be good too, but no, it specifically says that anything that is not specifically granted to the federal government under the Constitution, which is very limited, is reserved to the states or the people. and the federal government has been trampling on the 10th Amendment since the time of Woodrow Wilson.
Of course they have. The same thing is happening in, believe it or not, in Canada. The provinces are supposed to have complete control over the resources found in each province. But Alberta has been stepping on, the federal government in Ottawa has been stepping on Alberta's throat as far as oil production has been a thing for the last 30 years. Alberta is hamstrung by the Canadian government. And I think that is eventually, in the next couple of years, you're going to see Alberta leave Canada. Canada will collapse after that.
Yeah.
The West has had it.
Yeah.
We've had it.
Here's my question for you. If
Yes.
Alberta, let's say Alberta and I don't know, let's say British Columbia,
Saskatchewan, Eastern BC,
okay,
yeah.
secede from
Eastern.
Canada, where are you guys going to go?
The
Don't
What are
have
you guys
to
going to do? You're going to form your own government? Because
Yep.
if you're thinking you're going to join the United States, I have
Nope.
to just let you guys know the only way that we can acquire some other territory like that is that it would have to go to the United States Senate, and they would have to approve it by a vote of about, I think it's like 3/4. So in other words, say Alberta says they want to join the United States, it's only
No.
through the approval of the United States Senate that you would get that.
That's right. And that's why Trump's statements, half a year ago, were just trolling, because he has no power to actually do that.
No,
We
no,
all
he
know
doesn't.
that.
No, he has no. That's
Well,
right. He
that's
doesn't
the
have
whole-
any
The
power.
boomers,
It's
boomers
trolling.
in Canada don't know that, and it works. They
Well,
were all
most of the
scared.
people in the United States don't know it either
Yeah.
because they're not taught civics anymore.
Well, they
What?
should see, and that you don't think that's on purpose?
No, I
That
know
we're
it's
not
on
taught
purpose. They're
civics? That's on
dismantling
purpose.
everything.
That's fucking
Yeah.
on purpose. We're not taught civics and social studies. It was called when I was in school. No, Trump has no power to do that, of course. But I'll tell you right now, Alberta and Saskatchewan would leave with Alberta. They have no desire to join the United States. They do want to have much closer ties with the United States as a sovereign nation. They want to perhaps take on the U.S. currency, as does Vietnam, as does other countries in the world. San Salvador is an
May
example.
I interject one thing?
Absolutely, yes,
point?
please.
You know what? The United States would like to have its own currency too.
Yes, it would.
Oh,
Yes,
right.
instead of
Okay.
being issued a
But
private company's
if
currency.
you would like to have our currency, I don't think we would have a problem. But we've got to actually get it reestablished
That's
first,
true.
because
Yes.
we haven't had one for about 100 and what is it? 112 years now. We
Since
haven't had
Woodrow
our own.
Wilson. Yeah.
Huh?
Since Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, so we
Right.
haven't had our own currency. But
Yep. No, but
although we have had silver certificates, and I actually have one. Except the person that re-implemented it, let's just say he got Type 0 phasered
Yeah.
back in was it 62,
60
63?
62, I think it was 62.
Yeah, he received the Type 0 phaser treatment for
November.
wanting to reestablish the U.S. Treasury's constitutional authority, okay, to print our own money.
Yep. Because we don't print our own money, and it's
never
not
owned
like
it.
it's not like the
real
Fed.
money either.
Yeah.
That's the other
It's
key
fiat
thing.
currency, yes.
It's called fiat currency.
Yep.
The other type of currency is called a commodities-based currency.
yes,
And
which
we
makes
don't have that either.
No.
Okay.
see, Alberta and Saskatchewan could. I don't know if you're aware, but Alberta has huge oil reserves, as big
Yeah, they
as
do.
all of the U.S., perhaps bigger. And Saskatchewan has potash. They have most
And lots
of
of
the world's
farmland.
potash. Potash is used for steel production, apparently, and fertilizer.
Yeah, well,
So-
we don't need that because we don't produce steel in the United States anymore.
No, well,
Yeah, we're idiots.
Either way, Alberta and Saskatchewan have and uranium. Like most of the world's uranium is also found in northern Canada.
I
So
thought
I
that
think
was in Australia. No,
no, it's in
they, they have
Saskatchewan.
really they have bigger reserves. I didn't know that.
Bigger reserves in Saskatchewan than Australia.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, you don't want Ontario. The United States does not want to make agreements
and we don't want Quebec either.
or Ontario, but you as an independent nation, Alberta and Saskatchewan and Eastern British Columbia, we could negotiate close ties with the U.S. I mean, have an open border, much the same as New Zealand and Australia.
Well,
You know,
we
work
used to
between the two.
have an open border. We used to
Yes,
have an open border
did.
between Alberta
We did.
and Montana.
Yep.
I remember going to Alberta many times, having grown up in Montana, and all you had to do is you got to the border and says, "How long are you going to be here?" I don't know, 4 or 5 days. Okay,
Yep.
where are you going?
That's
Probably
right.
Calgary, Edmonton, or something. Lethbridge. Oh, all right. Well, have a good day. We'll see you on the other side.
have a good day, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, the
plants
same thing
do
with
breathe in
Canadians
carbon.
coming down to the United States. They would come
Yeah.
down all the time and they would shop. They would go shopping in the States
Yep.
during your guys' holidays because we'd always see the Canadians down. Now,
Yep.
now, I mean, everybody's got to have a passport
Yeah.
and all this other crap.
I mean, good
And,
Lord, in New Jersey, when I have relatives. Matter of fact, my uncle was mayor of Cape May for a long time. We used to go down to Cape May all the time. I saw more Ontario and Quebec plates in Cape May than I saw of New Jersey plates, man.
that wouldn't actually surprise me. We would get flooded with Canadians back in the day.
Yep.
Not that it mattered. Businesses loved it because they would make, back in the old school days. But now, the way it's set up, got to keep everybody fenced in.
Yep.
Here's another question for you. What happens to the Yukon and the Northwest Territories?
We don't want none of it. I get it.
No, what I'm saying is what happens with
Spider
Canada.
gets it.
Very good, West.
Oh,
None of it is the third territory that was just it was carved out of the Northwest Territories about 10 years ago or so. The Yukon has a lot of resources, and Yukon sides with British Columbia. We're practically sister provinces here. They're not stupid. They're going to go with what's in their best interests, and I don't think they like being controlled by Ottawa and any more than we do. Although they do like the Ottawa handouts, and that's going to be a problem.
got it. Okay.
Do you mind reading Radioactive what Susan Dolan has said here?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see. The WEF wants to get rid of 6.5 billion useful people. I'm changing it, modifying her language here because Gaia can only support 500 million useless people. What wokies don't realize is that they will disappear too. Well, yeah, I'm sorry I had to change that, Susan, but they want to get rid of any of the productive people so that they can have their slaves that will tend to the globalists. The rumored, I will use that word strongly here, 300 ruling families that control all the world's finances.
That is true. Yep, that is, and DVD.
Yeah, this is what the Great Reset. That's what the Great Reset is all about.
With a minimal impact on the climate. That is true. It is sheer hubris thinking that we actually can control it that much. The climate has always changed. It's called weather. Exactly.
And you want to know what changes your weather the most every day? It's called that bright glowing orb in the sky.
Exactly. And we don't know how many cow farts have been taken into account. That's true. And hey, I want to say hello to AJ Star Hiker. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the chat. I'm running low on battery power here, so I might have to do something about the power cord here.
Well, you better set up your solar array right now.
Yeah, right.
Your wind turbines.
Yeah, no, I do have battery backup. But West Kegel, do you mind reading this from our friend Sashi?
Yeah. Okay, Sashi says, I provided the requirements by the U.S. Health Department. Look at the section for refugees from Asia, Middle East and North Africa. Oh, this is when he was talking
yeah.
about ivermectin before, I believe.
Oh, right, yeah.
But it's funny is that that they might have done that, but then they opened the border and allowed millions to pour in over the last 4 years. Before Trump, without testing them, without verifying
Yeah,
anything.
they had no
Vetting.
requirements at all for
Same here,
health
Wes.
issues. Let's just
Yep.
say,
Yep.
no issues for health issues.
Nope, none.
No, you're 100% right. And PvP says summer was much hotter 40 years ago. I lived it.
Yep. Yeah.
See, I thought so too, PvP, but I've got some friends that are in their 30s that are saying, "Oh, this is the hottest summer. It wasn't like this." They're in their 30s. They don't know jack shit, and they're
Yep.
believing all the government lies.
I remember the summers being when I was a kid in the 70s, a little kid in the 70s. I remember it being
Exactly.
hotter, much hotter in the summer, and a hell of a lot colder in the winter.
Oh yeah, big time. And PvP, I absolutely send a link, but we are just wrapping up here. We're over 2 hours right now, and the fire is dying down. It is about 10 p.m. here on the Pacific Coast. So we're not, and I'm just about out of battery power. So I think we're just going to go for another minute or two. Radioactive, do you mind reading this from our friend AJ Star Hiker?
Let's see here. I live in Fargo. Used to see people from Winnipeg all the time, and stores would take Canadian coins, same as American. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. All
Not
the states,
anymore.
all the states, and you know this with the provinces, everything was pretty much free flowing between whether if you were in Washington or Idaho or Montana or North Dakota or Minnesota, all those states, anybody that was, and you probably, it was probably the same with New York too, because they border on what not Quebec, what's the other province? Ontario.
Yeah, Manitoba.
It was all free
Manitoba.
flowing. It was all
Yep.
free flowing. If you lived in any of those northern states, everything, people would go back and forth all the time.
That's right. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, that's right. And I want to say it's pretty fudged, says DVB. No kidding. It is pretty fudged, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I went to school both in elementary school, junior high, high school, and at as an undergrad in university. I knew Canadians, and I didn't even know they were freaking Canadians until they told me.
That's well, some Canadians are pretty arrogant, though. They think we're better than Americans. It's just because they don't know any better.
Well, my point is that there wasn't any real difference. There was no cultural differences. I mean, maybe a slight accent difference, but that's only
That's about it.
if you paid attention and picked up on it. But if you weren't, you didn't pay attention to it. It was just, there was nothing to even give you the hint that somebody would say.
I mean, in a fight, we might pull your jersey up over your head, but that's about it.
Okay, well, so yeah, but that was like hockey, though.
Yeah,
That's a
we
hockey
do that. We do that in street fights too.
Oh,
It
okay.
works. No, it works in street fights. It really does.
No, I
it
don't
does,
doubt
yeah.
that.
DVB says, yeah, they conveniently let millions into the U.S. and try to pass down to allow them to vote, or pass laws to allow them to vote. Oh, they're doing the same thing in Canada, my friend.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I just saw a map where they listed the states that allowed illegals to vote. They can't get to pass for national elections, but for local elections they can vote. In California, I believe in Washington.
Oh yeah.
There are several states that allow it.
It's on purpose.
Yep.
DVB says, "Oh man, it sucks you're ending the stream." Yeah, no, but I can't. It's been 2 hours already, and we can't go that much longer. I'm running out of battery power and wood. And PvP says BC is run by commie NDP. Won't separate while they have the power. No. See, Eastern British Columbia, where you and I live, PvP. You know the people around you. We don't agree with Vancouver and Victoria. We want to join Alberta, And if we don't physically separate as a territory, you'll find that most of all of my friends are ready to move to Alberta in a heartbeat. Half of them already have residences and vehicles licensed. Their license plates are from Alberta.
Yep.
Now,
So, no,
do the
BC
provinces
will desert.
are the provinces of Canada, are they set up with counties? Or what is your next level of government below the province?
Counties. It is
Counties.
counties.
Okay,
Mhm.
so if you had a county by county demographic map, would you see that it's the same way that it is in the United States, where it's these urban
Yeah.
centers
It's the
where you
urban
have all the
centers that,
Marxists?
Mhm.
yes,
Okay.
Well, the the
it's set
the
up that
the,
way on purpose.
the BC situation is almost identical. You know what I'm talking about, radioactive, to the situation with Oregon and Washington and Idaho. The eastern parts of both Washington and Oregon want to defect and join Idaho.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I can't blame them.
Well, the
And
same thing can be said about Northern California as well, which is
yes, true.
true
actually
story.
California. I don't know the status on it right now, but there's been this movement called the State of Jefferson,
Mhm.
Yes.
and so they want to basically separate from the bad parts of California, which effectively, if it actually came to fruition, would isolate
Yep.
basically San Francisco and San Jose up north, that Silicon Valley area,
Mhm.
Los Angeles, and I think that's about it. And
Yep.
the rest of the state would just leave, because you get outside of LA, okay? If you get outside of LA and say if you go up to the I-15 to say Barstow, people at Barstow have nothing to do with the crap going on in LA.
Mhm.
Right. And the
Okay.
same thing goes for the the people in the center part of California, where all the
Yeah.
farming at least used to be.
Yep.
Used to. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. No, though there had been a movement I saw years back where they were talking about they wanted to break California into three sections, and two of the sections would have ended up being predominantly red. I mean, like solid red, and they will never ever allow it, because if that were to happen, the only reason they actually are in the running for any presidential or national elections this way is the fact that they lock up the 54 electoral college votes from California every year. If they break California up,
Right.
the Democratic Party is finished.
Right.
So they'll
Well,
never
at
let
least
it.
in the West, anyway.
Yeah.
In the West.
Well, they'll never win another presidential election. They
See,
need
that's
those
the thing.
54. They need
If
those 54 every year, every 4 years.
Alberta leaves Canada, if even just Alberta leaves Canada, the conservative government, which is your Republicans for Americans, will never win again. If Alberta leaves Canada, you have the Liberals or Democrats running Canada into the ground for the rest of their short history. PvP says, I have a pretty good pulse on what's happening. I believe you do. I wish other people in BC, especially people your age in BC, did as much as you do, PvP. DVB, I can't agree with this, although I will read it.
No.
Canadians are generally friendlier than Americans. DVB,
He's thinking of just us in New Jersey.
yeah, no, I mean, New Yorkers are assholes. In general, in my experience, and I've lived in America and Canada, both sides of Canada, Canadians are snobby. Canadians are, they're sort of like the Japanese. They don't show their real emotions up front. They pretend to be nice and friendly up front, but as soon as you turn around, they're going to be slagging off the Americans and saying how much better we are than the Americans as soon as you turn around. We are not better than the Americans. Canadians are taught from birth that Americans are loud and that we should not be like America, and that we are so much better and we are so much more dignified and we are so much more intelligent and we're just so much more wise and we're so much more socially conscious, and all of that is bullshit. I'm sorry. I've lived in the States. I've lived on both sides of Canada. America is the greatest country in the world. Canada suck a dick. Get over yourself. You're not that great. Yes, Canada, you've
You
done
mean
some
fake
cool
Canada.
things,
You
but
mean fake
America
Canada.
is better. You're never gonna be better than America. Get over yourselves, Canadians. Fuck off. Wake up and smell the shit you're cooking. It's true. It's fucking true. And my battery is going to die. And if that happens, I cannot end the stream, and you guys will be stuck.
Oh, that's not good.
No, that's not good.
We don't. The
Unless you
Republic
gave
of
all the
Western
keys
Canada.
to West Cagle.
Yes,
No, I have no keys.
No, Rod Thunderheart has
Rod's
the
the
keys,
only one
but
that has the
he's
keys.
working
Yeah.
right now.
Oh, okay.
You know, I
We don't-
wish I had the ability to give that to couple West, because I'd give that to you in a heartbeat, but I just don't have it. Old Man Bird says, thank you for the stream. You're well, and for the fire, you're welcome, Old Man Bird. DVB's in Washington State, man. You're just below me. If I flee Canada, I'm gonna become couch surfing at your place, man. Old Man Bird saying hello. Jason Love saying hello. Point taken, Spidey says DVB. Yeah, it is true. I mean, Eastern Canada, you could say, is pretty darn friendly, but they're so snobby. And Maine is the same as New Brunswick. Maine and New Brunswick, they are more similar than people in British Columbia are. I'll tell you that. AJ Star Hiker says, if you look at every D state, it's a big city or has two deciding everything. That is the problem with British Columbia. Vancouver and Victoria decide everything. Yeah, you're right. But anyway, on this note, before we crash and I lose total control of this stream, before I lose all power, I want to say thank you very much, Wes Cagle and Radioactive, for joining me.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yep, absolutely.
And can you read this, West Cagle, please, from
Yes,
DVB?
DVB says, I can tell you what though, Spidey, I've never been offered free joints on the street in the U.S.
Oh, that's
well, in the U.S., the first one is always free.
That's true.
It's just you got to pay it through the nose for everyone afterwards.
Yes, and Malaysia did copy the American flag. That is true, and other countries around the world have as well. If you haven't noticed, there's more than just Malaysia. And you're welcome, Lemon Pie. Happy to do the stream for you. But before I run out of battery power and totally lose the stream, and PvP, man, if you would have come up 2 hours ago, I would have sent you a link. It would have been good. But we have been 2 hours and 17 minutes. So we're going to call this a night, folks. The fire's dying down. We burnt a lot of the fuel, but you know what? There's a lot more fuel here that needs to be burnt to keep these woods safe. So maybe tomorrow we'll have a fire. Who knows?
Yeah, cool.
But sometime soon. And
Yes.
Radioactive, West Cagle, you're both welcome to join.
Absolutely, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
we do have more fuel that needs to be burned. So, and I want to welcome everybody. Hey, Daniel's Hot Topics. Awesome. Doing fantastic. Just ending, my friend. Just ending.
Yes.
Just ending now. All right, let's end the stream. Thanks for being here, folks.
Yep. See you.
And oh, wait a minute. Do we have any media assets? Holy shit. Will it let me show this? Customize your okay. It wants me to upgrade my plan. Okay, fuck you, YouTube. How about this? Will it let me play? No, it's not gonna let me play any media. Oh, I used to be able to play media on the way out, and I have to upgrade to do that. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Oh.
YouTube or StreamYards, I might not be using. Whose stream are you going to read now? You know what? Nemesis of Eden. I suspect Nemesis of Eden is probably playing right now. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Daniels. We are going to roll out of here. Can we say Canadian Spider? You sure can, buddy. Yeah,
Yes.
West Cagle. I bet you, not West Cagle. Shit, Nemesis of Eden. West Cagle's beside me here. Nemesis of Eden is probably streaming anytime now. But yeah, I got to end it before the battery dies. So thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate it. We did a little bit of commentary on summer nights. We had a little bit of commentary on politics. And hi, Rod Thunderheart. I was literally just about to end the stream.
That's okay. That's okay. I would just
Out of battery
pop in.
power. I'm
call
down to
call
my
us a
last
quick
4%.
call it a quick cameo.
Yeah.
Besides, I'm pretty tired anyways. I wasn't gonna.
Look,
Well,
everybody. It's
Yeah.
Rod Thunderheart.
Well, at least we have somebody that can end the stream if your laptop dies. That's
right.
Spidey.
We were
That's
just
right.
saying that if I died, I don't have the keys to shut down the stream, but Rod does.
There,
So,
there you go. There you go.
Okay. And Rod Thunder Nemesis, are we gonna do a Nemesis of Eden live stream raid? All right, Nemesis, are
Yeah,
you
sure.
going live? And Susan Dolan says, "Hail, Rod Thunderheart."
Hail, Susan Dolan.
Yeah, I'm just ending now, Rod. I'm on
Okay.
3% battery power. So
Yeah, you bet. All right, have a good one. See you guys.
Take care,
See
everybody.
y'all.
Later.
Yeah.
Good night.
Later.